welcome to episode 23 of It's All Geek to Me, the pop culture chat show where three friends with varying degrees of nerd knowledge get together once a week to have a chat about all things geek. My name is Rich Gittins, this is my new Geek Cave, and joining me this week and every week, it's my buddy Chris Lum. Coming out, Lummy.
Hello.
Lummy, how you doing? You all right?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you very much. How's your week been?
Not too bad. Back gigging, so that's nice. Live gigs. Did an MC last night, so
Nice,
yeah.
nice. What, like you were rapping and things like that?
No.
Right.
Just
So,
going, hello, welcome to Comedy Night. Where you
here's a
from?
comedian.
Where you from?
How'd it
Shut
go?
up! Yeah, we're good. Actually. It was good.
Nice,
It was
nice. And have you got any more gigs coming up?
Yeah, we've
This
got
week?
tomorrow. We're in Leeds. We're doing comedy checkout improv show. We're doing Seven Arts tomorrow night. Then Friday,
Nice.
Bradford. Saturday, Harrogate.
Wow.
Sunday, we're doing the improv courses.
Wowza. So after 16 months of not being able to work, suddenly you are back gigging with a vengeance, aren't you?
Yep, it's all back.
Is it like falling off a bike? Is it you just get back on and it's absolutely fine? Or
I think so. Yeah, it's a bit. You go back and you're a bit rusty, but it's still you kind of like last night. My first MC one. That was the real one where you think, oh god. So then,
yeah, a lot of pressure on you when you're in the MC, isn't there?
Yeah, especially when you've got a room full of other comedians sat at the side, and it's all their first gig back, and they're all watching you go on the first ever time again, and you're like, hang on, here we go. But it was
so
fine.
was that pressure? Did you put that pressure on yourself on their behalf? Because like you felt like because you set the scene, don't you?
Yeah,
you roll them up. And
yeah, that's what you're there for, innit? To make
it's like you're a comedy fluffer, aren't you?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
just there just to get them ready and get the audience ready.
Yeah,
just
make sure they have a good night.
Stroke their inner thigh, just caress them, just the earlobes.
Make it sexual, but it's not going to work.
What? Sexual? Me?
I'm a professional when it comes to
I would
this.
make anything. Do I look like I could make anything sexual? Look at the state of me.
You're right.
Oh, cheers, Lummy. And we had fun earlier.
I saw a bit of leg though then.
Oh, yeah, I'm wearing shorts. It's a bit warm, isn't it?
I am as well.
Yeah. to be honest, I say shorts, boxer shorts. No, it's warm, isn't it? It's sticky.
Get those knees out.
I've got a fan. I've got a fan on down there. It's an oscillating fan, just keeping my ankles warm.
Well, you got to have one, haven't you?
Cool, not warm. Cool.
Although
it's hot, so it's probably just making them warm. It's just that's how hot it is.
We've got some people watching, by the way.
We've got some hello, folks. How you all doing? Well, do you know what? We should probably introduce our other buddy. I think we've delayed enough. I think he's probably eating his jacket potato now, I reckon. Can you see him in his little window there?
He's having a cig.
He's having a cigarette?
Yeah.
What the hell? Well, do you know what? Let's bring him out. It's Nathan Webb.
Of course I'm having a cig. I've just had a delicious jacket potato.
Yeah, a post.
And I've just eaten it in one. Honestly, trying to rush. I left the salad. I just thought the salad. Yeah.
To be honest, we saw him before the show. He sat it on a stick like a big toffee apple, and he was like, just eating it like that. It was,
you know, guys. Yeah, a bit of a stressful one.
Hey, Big T, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show. And just before we get to you, Webby, welcome to everyone. Welcome everyone to the show. Please join in, get involved in the comments. It's nice to make your acquaintance, those of you who we've never met before. And hey, Martin, how are you? Evening, Martin.
It's nice having regular viewers, isn't it?
We've got one of your favourites, Rich, as well. We've got your fan who's come on.
Peekaboo. There you go, a little bit of knee. Hey up, Daisy.
Dude, she's your sister, man.
What's worse than that is at least you guys put boxer shorts and shorts on. I'm totally naked.
Oh, you know what's worse than that? We kissed once. So how's your week been, Webby? What have you been up to?
It's been actually all right. Yeah, it's been okay. We I don't know if we're allowed to say. We had an interesting Friday, didn't we? We did a.
Well, I was about to actually say that earlier on. Yeah, we met up midweek to pre-record a show just in case. You know, with Lummy getting so busy now, and Webby obviously having a kid, and me potentially, hopefully, going back to work. So we pre-recorded a show for a future episode. And it was fun, wasn't it? It was
It
good.
was fun.
Yeah,
It was a bit weird because there were no audience, so all these lovely people who come in and chat weren't there. But we had a laugh, didn't we? It were all right.
Yeah, it was a giggle.
Bear in mind, audience, when you do watch it and you comment and you don't get a response, don't be angry, don't be upset. It's just we can't try to time travel.
What we will do in that show is that an older version of us from now, an older version will be online. A future version of one of us will be online, and they will be in the comments having a chat to you as well. So that we'll make sure that you know.
Oh, they're already turning on us. Look.
Oh Jesus!
Oh yeah.
What? No! Wait! It's just it means we can include more things in it as well because we can edit some stuff into it and hopefully make it a bit more of a sort of an action-packed show.
Yeah,
maybe we could host that show as Doc Brown or Marty McFly from the future.
I've come back to tell you, your kids.
Hey Dad, what are we doing with this show?
That's like Friends without the claps, as if Daisy would know what it's like to not have the clap. Okay, so
all Daisy's friends have got the clap.
Just lost the viewer.
So speaking of Webby eating his jacket potato and eating it, just ramming it down his face, it's just because the internet lasts forever. We're going to be wishing a very, very special happy birthday to one of our community this week, and it's to our geek in training. It's Robin. It's his birthday tomorrow, isn't it, Webby?
It is, yeah. And by the way, I probably should honourably mention that it was my mum's birthday way before it was Robin. So if she's watching, she might be a bit pissed if we miss her out. But yeah, our little man on the street, our geek on the street, our geek in training, is turning a big 4 tomorrow. Can't believe it. Look at the little monster. This is my favourite series of photos. He must have been hungry.
It's like he's half man, half sandwich.
Yeah, I can't tell if the sandwich is eating him or if he's eating the sandwich.
That is a look of pure delight, though. Look at his eyes. He's just like, that is the best thing ever.
Sometimes when you're a parent, you forget to feed your kids, and then when you finally put food in the face, that's kind of what it looks like. It's like me with that jacket potato a minute ago.
Okay, and here he is.
Look at that. Oh, he's a super dude. He really is. Yeah, all the geek outfits. Do you know what?
Look at him.
He asked us for that Spider-Man outfit, and he hated it. I had to beg him to put it on.
Is that because it didn't have web slingers?
It was real. Yeah, that's it. It didn't climb up.
This is how angry he was.
I was just lucky. Yeah. Then he wrestled me.
Yeah, he just kicked your dick off.
He did. He knocked me up.
Oh, bless him, little Robin. And there are a couple more photos to come of Robin a little bit later on as well.
Ooh, teasing us. I see him all the time. You get over it.
Ryan's asked what he's reviewing next.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's to be confirmed. Yeah.
Does he want to go to the cinema after his last outing? He didn't seem very happy about it.
Yeah, he's a bit odd like that. He doesn't always like kids with superhero costumes. You'd think, yeah, this is a shoe-in. Do you know what I mean? But it surpasses your expectations quite often.
Take me next time, Web, then. And
I will. I know you appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'll dress up as Captain America.
Yeah, and Lummy likes to hold your hand all the way through, just in case the movie's scary.
No,
but that's all right.
No,
you do. It's all right. Don't be shy about it.
All right, I do.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, that's it's been an all right week. We've had a bit of fun. We're gonna have a big family day tomorrow with the birthday extravaganza. He's got some absolute. I've got to keep this on the DL on the down low. That means.
Okay.
He's got some absolutely amazing geek presents. Amazing.
Like what?
Well, because I got one for my birthday, I think he wants a Ghostbusters car, so we've got him the Ghostbusters Playmobil. I'm trying to say it quietly just in case he's standing outside listening. He's got some absolutely fucking amazing Spider-Man Lego that comes with Dr. Octopus and Mysterio.
There we go. See, they know.
Don't give the game away, Big T. Don't give the game away. And this is the kind of shithead I am. I said to Joe a couple of weeks ago, well, maybe I should build the Lego before his birthday.
No.
So he doesn't have to watch me build it all day. So I can actually
Fucking-
play with him. So we built it. We built it all.
When did you build all that?
Past 2 nights, we built all that and wrapped everything and built his Ghostbusters car, put everything together. The only 2 things we haven't built, he's got 2 little. You got him one getting Spider-Man. There's a Spider-Man robot, you get the figure, but you get a robot suit, and he's got an Iron Man one. We haven't built them yet.
Okay.
We didn't. We ran out.
I mean, the thing is, here's some pictures of Robin playing with some Lego with you.
This is some good quality Daddy and Robin time playing with the Lego on, and I'm like, what are you doing? Stop messing
I'm so disappointed, Robin.
I know.
I mean, you do have quite high expectations when it comes to the care of Lego and how quickly people put their Lego sets together as well. You know, how long it remains in the boxes.
Yeah, when I watched the Lego movie and realised it was a true story, it was a bit of a horror movie, that film. It is. Yeah. They need their own Lego. Have your own Lego. Don't touch my stuff.
Well, anyway, if you want to wish Robin a happy birthday as well, drop a little birthday greeting in the comments below for Robin. I'm sure when he's 18, he will love being embarrassed by this video on his birthday in front of all his friends.
Hopefully, he'll have learned to read by then as well. So a bit of read your comments, guys.
Look at that. Have we got anything going on in the news? Any news going on this week? What's going on? You were very excited about the news, didn't you?
We've gone through a bloody fallow period, haven't we? There's been nothing really worth reporting. So I'm just going to run through it real quick. We're not going to delve too much into it because we don't want to, we don't want to go too much. So we got they've announced Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever as rumored to have Namor the Submariner as its main villain. It's a bit of a controversial one, that, because a lot of people absolutely hate the Submariner. Basically, Marvel's version of Aquaman.
Right.
Not a great character. I've never actually read anything with him in it.
No.
But yeah, interesting. I didn't even know he was a villain. I thought he was a good guy. But hey,
I did as well. I didn't know
that. And also The Boys season 3's released a picture of a new character played by the guy from Supernatural, one of the twins guys, Jensen Ackles. Soldier Boy is called, and so there's a costume. There's a guy all dolled up in his new costume. He's coming.
When's that coming out?
The next season. It's not been announced yet, but they're saying before the end of the year. I think it'll be January, February time.
That's next year.
Yeah, I think it'll be then. But they're saying.
Oh right, you don't think it'll be before the end of the year, right? Okay.
Well, because I think we'd have seen a trailer or something by now if that were the case. It's June. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but when was this news released?
About Soldier Boy.
What about The Boys season 3? I mean, I don't think we'll see any advertising for that for another couple of months, even if it is before the end of the year.
I think because of lockdown, it slowed it down a little bit, and it should have been out a little sooner.
But it's an Amazon thing, though, isn't it? So it's not like you see Amazon original things advertised everywhere. So I think,
Yeah, we'll see. But I know that the fan base for Supernatural are quite excited that Jensen Ackles is. It's not one I ever watched, Supernatural, but
no, me neither.
It's one of those shows that if you love it, you proper love it.
We've got Martin just commenting here. Is this about the Submariner thing?
Yeah, he's been cast, but I didn't know.
He's married to Sue Storm on Universe, but he's played as heel or face, depending on what's happening in the world.
Okay, okay. It can be either. Is a bit of a in betweener.
I like the little wrestling reference there, Martin. I like that. I appreciate that.
So other news, we've got Loki coming out tomorrow on Disney Plus, and
this is snuck up actually. I didn't realise because I was just watching. I follow the director on Twitter, and she was just saying, "Oh yeah, we've just been watching a couple of the episodes and just seeing how they are." So I thought, "Oh, it's going to be out in a few months." But
we've mentioned it a few times in the run up to it coming out. But what's different about it this time is the test screenings and critics reviews are in, and they're absolutely lauding it. They're saying it's the best Marvel TV show so far, which after WandaVision is quite surprising.
Wow.
They're saying it's got all these fancy connections to the MCU, and also that the relationship between Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson's characters is absolutely brilliant. They've nailed the sort of bromance aspect of it. So yeah, I'm really interested to tune into that tomorrow and give it a watch-a-rooney.
Fancy a watch of that as well. I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
You got what else you got in the news? I'm just looking. We've got some comments about news, but I'm going to say something in a minute about.
Well, if it ties into the news we've just done, then
No.
Okay, I'll just run through. So, Jupiter's Legacy, that superhero show that came out on Netflix, it's not made it to season 2. It's been cancelled. I don't know if you guys watched it. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was all right.
I tried to give it a go, but I just couldn't get into it. It was just really slow paced for me.
It was a bit of a slow one.
I have to admit, I didn't get past the first 30 odd minutes. So that is a bad on my part. But the fact that it's not being renewed for a second season, how do you feel about that?
Me?
Yeah, because I know you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it to a point. Yeah, there were some things I didn't like about it, but I was ready for season 2. I was interested in
they
what's
left
coming
it
next.
set up that they're like, was there a cliffhanger at the end of season 1?
Not so much a cliffhanger, but it did lead you to believe there were more stories to tell, more coming. So yeah, that's been cancelled. You know, what people make of that is up to them. I don't know. The thing is about cancelling something so early, it's only been out a few months. So once they cancel it, like you said, Rich, there's no season 2 coming. So you're less likely to go and watch it. You know what I mean? It's a strange one. And I did want to talk a little bit more about things that have been cancelled, but we've got so much news to go through. We could do that later. You know, I thought if we do a little bit of chat about
Gina Carrera.
No, about how shows that we're into get cancelled and what happens to them after that. You know, but that's for a future
the Gina
show.
Carrera thing. Just very quickly, apparently she's coming back because Lego stopped making the set with her figure in, and then it's coming out again.
From what I read yesterday, there was no intention from Disney of rehiring her at all.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I literally read it yesterday.
That.
Yeah, but this is the internet, man. Who knows? Who knows? So, yeah, also, this is quite interesting news. Marvel announced this week that they're killing off Doctor Strange in the comic run. They're doing a 5-arc comic run called The Death of Doctor Strange. And that's really crazy. That has been a very, very long-running character. So I don't know if they're going to bring him back as a woman or they're going to mix it up a bit.
Nobody really dies in Marvel anymore.
Yeah, and it's the comics, so it might not necessarily translate to the MCU that we're watching, you know.
Well, I mean, if it does, it won't be for a while.
Yeah, it won't be till after the next movies come out, at least. What else we got?
Quick comment on Jupiter Legacy there. Look, I've read Jupiter Legacy in the new series.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So just to explain to you guys what Martin's on about, the first season's pretty much about how the original group get together, but also touches upon them in our timeline. In the future, they've got kids, and the kids aren't quite living up to what they should be. There's all these dramas and stuff. But yeah, it makes total sense that they devote the first season to the adults, and then the kids in the next series, and then I mean, the only way, I guess, to find out if you would be excited to see the next season is to watch it, see what you make yourself. But like you say, you're not going to do that when you know it's cancelled already.
No,
it's a strange one. It's a strange one. And the other thing is, this is doing quite well on Netflix at the minute. That the adaptation of Sweet Tooth, the comic, came out yet. Now, I've not had time to watch it yet. I fully intend to watch it, and I've got a feeling I'm going to love it by the trailer. It looks like my kind of thing.
I started watching it the other night, actually. It looks beautiful and really, looks like it's going to be really good storytelling.
Mm-hmm. It's got a few people you might recognise as well. I think, is it Zaron I can't say his name. Zaron Zaxos, whatever he's called from Game of Thrones, isn't it?
Zardos.
What? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll go to the person that's never watched it. How do you pronounce that again, Lon?
That's that Sean Connery
Zardos.
film. Is it Zardos? That Sean Connery film. Have you ever seen it? Check that out.
I ain't even seen Highlander.
No, I find that really bizarre that you've never seen Highlander.
I think it just missed me. I wasn't old enough when it came out to watch it. It was like a 15. From what I remember, it came out later.
You're a year younger than me.
I don't know when you watched it. I don't know what your parents allowed you to watch. I was only allowed to watch good quality Christian programming as a young. That's total bullshit.
We've got a comment here from Terry.
Terry. Right.
Started watching Ragnarok, the Nordic series.
So I was asking Webby about this a couple of months ago. I haven't given it a go myself, but I was wondering, it seems like it's based on the Norse mythology? Like there are lots of sort of references in it. How kind of closely
Like
is it based
Ragnarok.
on that? Yeah, but it's set in a town of Ragnarok. So I was just wondering how closely it follows it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to giving it a go.
I don't know, but what I do know is out of all the Viking-y wannabe Game of Thrones, Sparta type shows, this one is like highly rated among people that are our peers. Do you know what I mean? And I've tried stuff like Sparta or whatever it was, what the Spartan one that came out, Spartacus one that came out, and I tried Vikings. I just didn't get on with it from the get-go. But apparently this one's done with a little bit more oomph. And that's about it for the news, except for
yeah, I know, mental, right? Absolutely mental.
Yeah, it is.
We've got to do a little sort of standalone episode, a little short one where you watch Highlander and you give it a review, Robbie. After all this time,
I know it's going to be shit. I know that it's going to be shit because it's not 1987 anymore.
Still an iPlayer web.
Give it a go.
I prefer.
No, it's not. The sword fighting's pretty shit.
Sorry, I prefer Princess Bride.
There could be only one Highlander. It's a good classic Connery. Come on, get it watched.
I don't rate Connery. Never have done.
Is that your news?
I think he's a crappy actor. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not a Connery man.
News just in. Webby does not rate Connery.
Yeah. One more news, and it's a good news thing, I think, and that's that Zack Snyder's denied rumors that he's involved with Ghost Rider, the reboot, which I'm quite relieved about because I think I've my fill of this slow motion motherfucker for the time being. It's just get on with it, mate. My film's 3 hours. No, it's not.
Rob
no, it's not
said,
3 hours.
Talk shit about Highlander.
I didn't. I talked it about Connery. Is that all right? Oh no, he's dead, so I'll probably get some shit for that as well. I speak ill of the dead, Webby. You Highlander hating son of a bitch. Yeah, it's just something that's never really appealed to me. In a nutshell, right?
Cancel culture. Look at
I thought that said not rating the big C then. I thought I said not rating the big C.
Yeah, but I don't rate cancer either, Martin.
I think that my impression of what Highlander is probably more interesting than the film itself, because I've just got an image of time. Is it time travel-y, weird sword fighting Scottish people or something?
Yeah.
Christopher Lambert doing a terrible accent. Is that right?
He's already got a terrible accent. He doesn't have to do one.
Well, he's got a French accent, but in this, doesn't he explicably try to do some Scottish accent or something?
Memoriam,
I don't know.
Saying everything.
Oh, sorry, guys. It's because I rushed that jacket potato. I'm sure.
You can't blame the jacket potato.
I do.
On you being speaking ill of the dead.
On for Red October.
Do you know what? I can count the number of Sean Connery films that are passable in my eyes on like one hand, and I don't think it's his fault. I just think he picks really terrible movies to be in.
Not anymore.
The Rock. I like The Rock. The Rock's all right.
Womack, I might have known it was you piece of shit.
He's all right in some of the James Bonds. He's all right in those.
James Bond.
And he's all right in Indiana Jones.
Speaking of Indiana Jones.
Yes!
Good segue.
Well. Everything's been filming this week up in Yorkshire.
Barnstable.
Near us.
Lummis came up to Barnstable Castle with his telephoto lens.
I didn't go. I respect the movie. I'll let him do it. I thought about going to get us a report, but I thought, do you know what? I don't want to get parcelled in with those people who hide in bushes with long lenses.
Can we also just clarify that it's not Barnstable?
I know,
I know, but I think it's a running joke.
People are going to get offended from Barnstable.
Wasn't this a running joke from the pre-recorded episode?
Yeah.
Right.
So
nobody's got any idea what's going on.
Bamburgh Castle. They're filming on the railway, which was used for Mission Impossible last month as well. So obviously, North York Railway, they're filming everything up there.
Do you know, 20 years ago, we'd have been straight up there in your car trying to find Harrison Ford. We've got old. We're losing it. We've lost our youth.
You just don't want to come across as an arsehole, do you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what's the worst that's going to happen? He punches you, and then you can say to everybody, Harrison Ford punched me, and he's actually really good at throwing. But he's not just acting; he really is. He's a good puncher.
I'd rather be in it.
All right. Oh,
I'd rather have a part in it. I want to be.
Would you rather replace him without him noticing? Just
just even like a one-liner or something, or stood in background. It'd be cool, wouldn't it, to be in one of them?
So while you definitely weren't in Bamborough Castle taking photographs of Harrison Ford, do we have any footage of Harrison Ford at Bamborough Castle?
We've got some photos. This wasn't at Bamborough Castle.
You definitely didn't take.
I didn't take them.
You definitely didn't take these.
These were in a paper. Oh, yeah, as if I'd have been able to take these. There you go. So there he is in his gear. And on your right, you've got Kathleen Kennedy, who destroyed Star Wars. Left.
That's not a great sign, is it, that she's there? She could easily destroy India as well. She's like, I'm not done yet, motherfuckers. I'm going to burn it all to the ground.
Well, don't forget, though, he was in Star Wars and she burned that to the ground. So
that's what I'm saying, yeah. She's...
the guy on the left there, though, is Kathleen Kennedy's husband, Frank Marshall, who was producer on all indie films with her. So
very famous.
Which guy on the left?
Left with a hat on. Left with a hat on.
They've all got hats on.
No, the one with the mask on. He's got the mask on.
Yeah, the mask on. The one who stood with Harrison Ford.
Gotcha.
He's wearing a shirt.
Not the guy who's photobombing.
Right. Yeah.
Right, so we've got a few from the same bit, obviously.
Nice.
He looks like an actor.
Stop taking my photos, you fucking sneaky.
And then you've got one where he's just having a stroll with his coffee.
Nice.
Good.
Well, if you look, he's got his wedding ring on, so he's still married to Marion and got divorced. Somebody pointed that out in comments. But there's a load of photos from the set and everything, but I didn't bother getting. I've got them all, but I thought I'm not going to load all them in on here because you don't want to spoil too much. But from looking at them, I don't know how much we can say here because you don't want to ruin it.
Is it exciting?
Right.
Well,
don't spoil it. Don't Nazis?
Right, there's Nazis in it, but it's going to be a prologue for the film, so it's a young Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's just what you wanted, isn't it?
Well, it's an interesting one because they're going to de-age him, aren't they?
Oh, you reckon they're going to use some special technology?
Well, basically, there's a couple of photos of a stuntman. In fact, turn off for 2 minutes if you don't want spoilers. But you'll see all these anyway.
Oh, no, I don't want spoilers, love. I don't want them.
All right,
forget it. I kind of do, but I don't.
No,
yeah.
Don't.
Do you know what I'm wondering, right? The amount that he's got to walk around with that mask on. I wonder if when we actually see him on screen, you better see the lines of his mask. Imprint. Like when you take your pants off on a hot day and you can see the waistband that's dug into your podgy belly. Or is that just me? I know you guys are pretty ripped. Just me, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
We can't relate.
I don't think they're too spoilerific, Lummy. You've told me what they are. I don't think they're too spoilerific at all.
You won me over. Go on, go for it.
Basically, there were a photo of a stuntman with a Harrison Ford mask, right? I kid you not. He had this Harrison Ford mask. So this is I don't know, they're going to either CGI over that. I'll have to find your photo now. I've said that word. It looks so weird. And then the stunt guy had a crash, right? Somebody filmed all this or took photos. Had a crash and the mask flew off. You can't make this up. So then there's a picture with one of the crew with this Harrison Ford mask with all the hair and everything over it that this stunt driver was wearing. Really odd. But
creepy.
Right, the timeline of it is, this is what, you know, we're on about last week with Nazis and that, and I said there could be scientist working for USA and all that business.
Yeah.
That looks like what's going to happen, but it's good. There's going to be a flashback at the start of the movie with this guy fighting Indiana Jones, so it ties into the start of that back in World War II.
Lummy,
yeah.
You know when you presuppose something and then you get it right, like you're kind of doing with this indie stuff, like you want it a certain way and it's coming right. Does it give you a sense of satisfaction thinking, yes, I were right? Or do you think, I can't believe they're not like surpassed my limited imagination on this shit? What do you think?
I'm not proud, no. I just think it's interesting to see what they're going to do, I guess. But But the trouble is, even if you try waiting and not spoiling stuff, there's so much of it now where you just click on. I mean, it's like if you watch, like we were talking about Disney Plus, you had to watch WandaVision because you know if you went on YouTube, somebody put WandaVision spoilers and they put it in the headlines and you're like.
I think so. Also, it'll be in the trailer. If they're going to de-age him, that'll be in the trailer.
They're going to, but they're not. These people who try not to spoil stuff and do reviews, they're not quite as subtle as they think, are they, about it? You know, they always leave some stupid clue. Yeah. I'm just hoping beyond hope that if they're going to de-age him, that they've stepped up the de-aging technology game at Disney since the fucking Luke Skywalker thing, and it's more in keeping with what Marvel were doing. I mean, they're owned by the same people. Why didn't they use that technology they used for Michael Douglas in Ant-Man and Robert Downey Jr. in whichever of those films it showed him as the fucking Brat Pack version of Robert Downey Jr. That was stunning. Really well done. So I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why they can't figure it out. Maybe they didn't have the budget on Star Wars. Who knows?
We've got. Just
what have we got, buddy?
I'm ready for comments.
Everybody's
Robin. Yeah. Well, you know, it's his knowledge of Marvel characters is better than mine. So
I'll tell you what you can do if you don't like it and you don't like the fact that I don't like Connery. Switch the show off. Go for Oh, yeah, I went there. Sorry, big
web. Calm it.
The plan anyway.
The other news that I had, it's as somebody I think Martin pointed out earlier, but it's Ghostbusters Day today. Official Ghostbusters Day.
Happy Ghostbusters Day.
I don't know why today is of significant.
And has anything significant happened? Have they released out?
But there's right. This is what I'm going to say. So tonight, I think at 10 o'clock UK time, there's on Twitter. There's a live chat about Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting. I'm sure they've got Jason Reitman.
So basically, you've got to go by at least 10. We'll watch that.
I'm going by 10, don't you worry.
Interesting. I'm glad that you said that at least something's happening, because in my mind it's like some guy just went, guess what? June the 8th is Ghostbusters Day, and everybody went, yeah, all right. But they didn't actually. The studios didn't back them up on it. There was nothing actually planned. Yeah. But yeah, I hope they release a proper trailer now.
I'm wondering if there'll be another trailer.
Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it?
But I also wonder if that was the trailer that we got because it was due out, wasn't it? They didn't have a plan to put together another trailer, so maybe they are just going, you know what? We're not going to... I mean, what thing is, again, we were just talking about it, you don't want spoilers. I don't want to see a trailer with Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd in it.
Listen, they're so unsubtle about it.
I'd rather go in.
They are so unsubtle about this stuff that, again, they think they haven't given you anything away. But watch that first trailer again from last summer. There's loads in there. You get a real good feel for what's going on. I'm just wondering, though, if that original trailer has changed. You know, we keep watching trailers from, like, Star Wars. When we're doing our retrospectives and we go back and watch the Star Wars thing, and Lummy will be like, look, this were in the trailer, but it were never in the movie. I wonder if it's going to be a case of that. Like, they've had so much time in between the trailer being released when the movie was nearly finished.
Yeah.
The movie's been finished for quite some time, hasn't it? So I wonder if they've actually gone in and jazzed everything up.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I'm pleased they've got... I mean, they're kind of using the score that were in the first movie a bit. You know, they're kind of evoking that a bit. So that's nice. Yeah,
that's great. It's a great score.
But we'll see. Well, we'll see. There might be some announcements time. There's games thing soon as well in the E3.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be showcasing the new Indiana Jones games to go back to that.
And I tell you what else, there's a massive rumor that they could be sneaking GTA 6 in there as well this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's not been confirmed at all, but that's what I read today. That it's heavily rumored that GTA 6 might.
I can't see that. I can't see them doing a GTA 6 for another year or two. They're still making so much money off GTA 5.
Yeah, but they could have had a trailer for GTA 6 for years. It's just a trailer. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, who knows? Because all they'd have to do is. Sorry, go on.
The amount of things that Rockstar have been working on and stuff, and the amount of content that they're still releasing for GTA 5, I can't see them doing anything for another couple of years. I mean, what is it? So it's sold more copies than the Bible. GTA. It's crazy, isn't it? It's insane.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
No, sorry, it's sold more copies than any other medium, other than maybe the Bible. It was something like that, but it's just the world's most popular, biggest selling thing.
It's insane. Bible at the time, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was quite big, yeah. And all those hotels, hotels buy. I mean, do you think hotels buy them in bulk? Or does they go around and buy lots of individual copies of the Bible to leave in there? Do you not? No. You've not been to a hotel where they leave a Bible? You've never seen a Bible?
Lots of hotels where it's my favourite place to choose. If I see a bit Bible lying in an hotel, you know. No, I'm only kidding. I tell you what, it is the original Bible was the best though. I didn't like the sequel.
Well, you prefer the Old Testament. The Old Testament.
Yeah.
The Old Testament. Yeah,
a bit more to it.
What can I say? Yeah, it's a bit more real. Yeah.
This week, I ask you, gentlemen, to come up with your best and worst Tim Burton movies. And what did you come up with, Lummy?
Oh,
Lummy.
Lummy.
All right, my best Tim Burton. I went through the list again. I was looking, I'm thinking, oh, come on, we've got to pick one here. And I always forget that he didn't direct, because I went for directed films only.
Okay.
Yeah. Nightmare Before Christmas would have been a good choice, but he didn't direct it. So I was like, no, you can't have it. Pick another. And I went, all right. So I had that conversation.
That sounded like a fun conversation you had with yourself there.
We got quite heated, actually.
Are you talking to yourself again yet, though?
Yeah.
Have you made up?
Yeah, I'm all right now.
Oh,
Beetlejuice I went for, my favourite.
Nice.
Beetlejuice.
Don't say it 3 times.
I didn't. I just said it twice, just in case. But if I say it again in a minute, that don't count. It has to be 3 in a row. It can't be 2 and then 1 5 minutes later.
Is that the rules?
I believe
so. They were the rules for Candyman. I'm pretty sure they're the rules for Beetlejuice.
So we also said we weren't allowed any Batman films because we covered Batman, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
We covered it pretty well, yeah. Covered it with a big fat blanket.
So what is it about Beetlejuice? Why? I've actually never seen Beetlejuice.
What?
I've never seen Beetlejuice.
So you a little shit about what? That's fucking. How can you call yourself a geek?
Get Martin's comment back up. Where is it? What?
I tell you what, Sean Connery's not in it. It's pretty good.
I like Tim Burton and I like Michael Keaton. I'm not saying anything bad about anyone. I just don't.
In this film, then.
Just haven't seen it.
Really?
I was good. I just never watched it.
I wonder what you'd think of it now, because it is. I watched it recently.
It is a bit
really dated and really. There's a lot of stop motion and stuff in it, and yeah, it's an interesting one. I'd love to see what you think though, because Michael Keaton is playing a character you've never seen him play before. He's completely out there.
I know. I've seen enough of Beetlejuice to know what it's about and what it is and what I'd be watching if I were to watch it. I just haven't watched the full film. Same with like Drop Dead Fred as well. I didn't watch that, which was kind of like the English version of Beetlejuice, really, wasn't it? It was
kind of, yeah. It's just like slightly different premise. Because Drop Dead Fred is about a girl who grows up and her imaginary friend. An imaginary friend comes back to hang out with the Beetlejuice is about a. What is he? Is it?
Well, he's a
ghost detective or something, isn't he?
He's a. I haven't seen it for fucking ages, even though I said it's my favourite.
Okay, it's gone.
Oh, just 1 sec.
What's happening?
It's all right. Don't worry, boys.
It's all right. Keep talking, like, buddy. What was it?
He's the guide to the. No, he's not the guide to the afterlife, is he?
Mm-mm. That's the name of the handbook that they get. The handbook for the recently deceased. Right. He is. Oh God! They look in the paper for him. He's got an advert, and I can't remember his exact.
Oh right, isn't it? They want the people out of the house, don't they? They hire him to get rid of them out of the house. God, I can't remember what.
I can't remember exactly what it is. But it's twisted. It's
glad you chose this as your favourite, Lummy.
No, we're just trying to remember what Beetlejuice's actual job is. Why he's in the movie. I know it sounds stupid, but he doesn't just appear. They hire him.
Yeah, they hire him to get rid of to haunt the house, don't they? To get rid of, because they can't do it. That's it. They try, and they can't scare these people out. For
Gittins' benefit, so basically, Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis live in a house. They haven't got any kids. They find themselves dead one day, and they're in the afterlife. And then an obnoxious family of twats move into their house. And they're trying to get them out, and they're trying to scare them in every way possible. And these guys aren't budging; they can't see them, so they need help. So they find Beetlejuice to help them push the people out. And Winona Ryder's the daughter of the family, and she can see them. She can commune with the dead. She knows they're there, and she prefers them as her parents. This couple, because they're a really nice couple. It's all right film. It's interesting. I always liked the miniatures in that. I mean, that little town they've built.
Yeah,
I think the miniatures are on point in that.
Terry's put this. He's the guy that hooks the dead, but not gone into the dead world.
So yeah. So people who haven't, so their spirits.
They haven't crossed over yet to wherever. Yeah.
Beetlejuice, you enjoy it, Rich. Very fun movie. Yeah, it is. It's fun, and it's one of Tim Burton's first films, and it was before Batman. So
yeah, I think it was. His first film was Pee-wee, wasn't it? Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Now, if you've ever seen that,
his first film was a short of Frankenweenie when he was working at Disney. So that's the thing. So he'd gone and studied at Cal Arts. And it was a brand new course that that had just started. And I watched him do an interview where he was saying that actually they were just giving away scholarships because it was a brand new course. And actually he would have never been able to afford to go to a school like that. And when he finished there, he got a job at Disney at the age of 20. But he'd had a really troubled life. His parents were arguing all the time. He was really into Hammer horror stuff. And, he was kind of just a bit of a loner when he was at school. He wasn't like a big, the most popular
Basically, his entire film career backs up the kind of character he is. He is that original kook. And he was sacked from Disney because he was too fucking kooky. He did animation on with Henry Selick, the guy who ended up directing Nightmare Before Christmas. He did animation on The Fox and the Hound. Was the last project he worked. He was actually an animator on that before they got rid of him. They didn't really get rid of him. They sort of displaced him to another department where he could just do, tinker away and.
It was also the fact that they thought his stuff was too scary for kids, and it's like, what? Are you kidding me? Have you seen Dumbo? Have you seen Bambi? I mean, there's a lot of like death and terror in a lot of those films. Kids love nightmare shit. You talk to it's like he thinks the studios have forgotten what it was like to be a kid, and they're just thinking of the newspapers and what they'd say and the bad press.
They only relate to the mainstream kids. They forget about kids like him, kids like us, because we are those geeks. Do you know what I mean? We are those ones that were slightly different, and we watch stuff like this. We weren't straight up mainstream people. You know what I mean?
No, but I do think all kids love nightmares and a bit of blood and gore and poo jokes, and do you know what I mean? All kids like that. It's just that it's conditioned out of them not to, and because they're mollycoddled. And it's like, I remember working at a naughty boys school. It was a school for kids who couldn't go to normal school because their behaviour was too bad. And these were primary school kids where we were taught to restrain the children in a very safe way. And be like, I know it's crazy, man, but these were really, really troubled kids who, if somebody said your mum, just in general conversation, it's very likely one of the kids would just pick up a pencil and try and stab the kid next to them.
Is that a case of too much Tim Burton or not enough?
No. What I'm saying is, no. I don't think, because there was a kid there. Obviously, I'm not going to use any names. He was the most. He was a Tim Burton. He was one of the most creative kids.
You said you weren't going to use any names.
I didn't. What?
You called
his name was Tim Burton. That's a coincidence. His name was Tim Burton as well.
His parents were but he was so creative. Jim Merton. He was such a creative kid. But the reason I was going to mention that place is because the thing that we were always taught was whenever you're doing anything, just imagine if the News of the World were to come through, report from the News of the World and take a picture of it, how would they manipulate that story? And I think it's the same. I think the studios have the same feeling when it comes to releasing material for kids. I think they're worried that the media are going to sort of have a field day and sort of make them out to be the people that are corrupting children's lives and things.
Now, this is why somebody like Tim Burton is quite important to the lexicon of all the movie things.
Exactly.
Because you've got options because of people like him. You've got people that are directly influenced by him. And the world's a little bit, ironically, I'm going to use the word colourful, but I mean black and white because that's the only colours he really works in. But yeah, it's a little bit more, there's a bit more option. Frankenweenie, that short film that he made with his friend, got re-released as a full-on movie and animation couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a really twisted story, but I think the original one is really beautifully done. It's really cheaply animated. But he managed to get Vincent Price to do the voiceover for it, so it adds a lot of weight to it. It's only about 15 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's really, really short.
Didn't he have a? Correct me if I'm wrong, Webb. You'll know this, but he had a relationship, didn't he, with Vincent Price, like the
one in Ed Wood.
Yeah.
So right, in the film Ed Wood, the character Ed Wood goes and finds Bela Lugosi, who's now in retirement. He no longer acts. Nobody wants him to work with him. He's a bit temperamental, a bit of an alcoholic, and he's old. So Ed Wood goes and seeks him out in Hollywood. This is all in the movie, and asks him to be in his movies. So he befriends Bela Lugosi, and it's a really beautiful story, actually, brilliantly acted. I can't remember who plays Bela Lugosi in it, but he won an Oscar for it, I'm sure. He might have won I might be making it up.
Because he'd made Frankenweenie was the reason why other studios were able to look at a body of work that he had and be able to give him some jobs like, Pee-wee and things like that. So what was your worst Tim Burton, Mummy?
Right, okay. Easy for me, this one. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Oh.
Yeah. I disagree. I have to disagree with that one. Do you know why?
You're entitled to your opinion, Webster.
No. I mean, I honestly, because I thought it was going to be absolutely horrible. And for me, it was actually closer to the book than the original one. And I know that's sacrilege to say, and I've already taken some shit on the chin for Connery tonight, but Gene Wilder.
Shit on the chin?
Shit on the chin, yeah. Somebody throwing shit all over.
I thought that was chocolate.
But
Charlie and the Shit Factory.
The problem I've got with Willy Wonka is the same problem you've got with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But Roald Dahl hated that original film. He fucking hated it. He thought they butchered it. But yeah, that's from a purist point of view. I think the newest one.
I'm going by entertainment factor though, not purist to the book.
Yeah, I quite liked it.
I like the books when I was a kid as well. I liked all that. But
I know it's a controversial one though. I know a lot of people didn't like it.
What was it you didn't like about it?
I just think Johnny Depp's performance as Willy Wonka, it was terrible. It was just like. It was like Michael Jackson, wasn't it? It sounded like Michael Jackson. There was something
Wacko Jacko about it.
I mean,
do you think he maybe took some inspiration from Michael Jackson?
Well, I hope not.
I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows?
Have to ask him. What again? There's another bit as well in it where I thought this. Correct me if I'm wrong. This surely isn't in the books where. Willy Wonka's dad was a dentist who didn't let him eat
that's all shoehorned in. Do you know why? That's just to get Christopher Lee in that movie. He wanted him in it.
It was just like...
Yeah. He loved all those Hammer horror actors. And Christopher Lee was really unwell, wasn't he? It was shortly before he died. So I think he just wanted him in it. And they created this whole backstory for it. But things I found really weird about it, which I then learned was my mistake, was I'm watching it and that same guy's playing all the Oompa Loompas and I was like, what? This is a bit weird. Like, why is the same guy playing all of them? But then I read the book and that's how they're described. They're like identical to each other. Yeah. When you read the book, if you remember, one of the things that I forgot about the book was that there's all these big poems, the Oompa Loompa poems, that they had real trouble in Willy Wonka turning those into songs that could be used in the film. So they just made up the songs for that one. So those have become the songs that we think about when we think of Willy Wonka. But in this version, they really attempted to get those original poems into the songs. But the weird thing is, they're not like metric. They don't meter out. They don't meet the beat of the rhythm of the words and stuff. It's really strange. You can tell the poems sort of shoehorned in because they don't rhyme. It's really weird.
I mean, Gene Wilder's got some pretty big shoes to fill, hasn't he, as well?
Gene Wilder, don't get me wrong, I think his performance in Willy Wonka
wonderful.
Is excellent. But the movie itself, I think, is quite dated. I think some of the kids in it are bad actors. And, it's a bit... I always stuck in my craw a bit that they put stuff... It's a bit like The Shining. Like, they put stuff that's not in the book in there. But in the new one, they put all the stuff that you'd forgotten about. And do you remember the Indian prince that wants Willy Wonka to... build his house out of chocolate for him, and he's like, well, it's going to melt in the sun, and he's like, no, what? Don't worry about it. So what? Just build it, and he builds it, and it melts. That's all in this film. I think I liked that. I like the aspects that they took aspects from the book that had never been done before.
Well, they kind of had to do that, but you can whichever one you like is fair enough. But for me,
I like both of them. I think where I am with them is I kind of mediocrely like both of them. I didn't really have a problem with either of them, but I was surprised that I preferred the newer one. Yeah, Sean Connery. He could have nailed it. He could have done. Come into my chocolate factory, Charlie.
Come with me and you'll see. Your imagination.
Cool.
I've got big team Oreos as well.
Go on then.
With pants, no chance. Maybe that's
maybe that's I think that's the thing for me. Yeah,
Gene Wilder Gene Wilder in that film, it really
it's full of wonderment.
He sells it, he doesn't come out. I think it's that thing in it of trying not to come across creepy, and Johnny Depp does in that version. He's like, you'd think.
I think that's a deliberate choice, though, because he's in the movie so much. There's no way they couldn't address the fact that he's creepy, because Tim Burton's creepy. He wants to creep you out. He wants to be Mr. Creepy. Oh, look how creepy I am.
Factory, a wholesome family entertainment film.
Dude, the book is creepy as shit.
Yeah,
Willy Wonka is not the hero of the fucking story, dude. He's a psychopathic nutcase who never comes out and is only interested in making chocolate and candy, and it's a weird story. And that's, I think, as well, why they tried to explain it with some backstory with Christopher Lee. You don't get a backstory in the book. There's just a nutter living in the town who makes chocolate. So I think to try and give you a bit of sympathy for Willy Wonka's character, they put this whole backstory in where he's got exactly the same haircut as he has when he's in his.
I mean, if you're going to go dark though, why don't you have kids' heads lobbed off and stuff then? Go the full dark instead of.
Is it not dark enough for you?
No, well, decide what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Maybe so. I think.
Come on, Tim Burton, put your balls on the line. Get what's he called? Him who gets sucked up in the tube.
Augustus Gloop.
Yeah.
Right, get him sucked in a thing and his limbs start pulling off. You know what I mean? Let's really go there. And then Chocolate River runs red. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But also, the book is scary when you're a kid.
I like the bit where the dolls sat on fire. That bit were good. Where they're singing and they all started on fire and he went, and went and that in Back to the Future. I can't remember.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, when they get to the chocolate factory and he opens the gate and they come in as that Willy Wonka. And it sets on fire. Yeah, that was quite.
You don't need to watch 2 hours just for that bit.
No, that's it. That's the best bit.
You're right. I really liked it dark and creepy. No, you didn't.
Right, yeah, but from my eyes, from where I'm standing, I know that when I come to read Robin that book in a few years, he's going to be terrified of getting sucked up a chocolate pipe or turned into a fucking blueberry. It's pretty scary stuff. Do you know what I mean?
All right.
And thank you.
Anyway, that was my choice because.
Thank you very much, Lummy. That certainly sparked a lot of debate. And ladies and gents, please let us know what your best and worst Tim Burton films are. Leave a comment down below. But Webby, over to you. What is it? Your best and worst Tim Burton?
Well, similarly to Lummy, I did spend a bit of time pondering whether to pick Nightmare Before Christmas. But
I was surprised that you didn't pick it, but yeah,
can't have it. So I went for my opinion. It's not really Tim Burton that makes this movie work. It's the music. I went for Sweeney Todd, and love it or hate it, man. I love the fucking music in this film. I love the songs. Great. It's beautiful. It's dark. It's weird, but it makes sense as well. It doesn't alienate you. And I've never particularly been interested in the story of Sweeney Todd. I think it's a bit of a one-trick pony sort of thing. But they made it watchable. They made it interesting. I'm not... Oh, God, I'm going to get myself shot down again. But I'm not a massive lover of Helena Bonham Carter either. I find that 9 times out of 10, she annoys me in movies more than anything. But they made a really good choice for Mrs... what's she called? Mrs... Oh, shit, I forgot her name.
Grubbins? No.
Mrs. Biggles, no, Mrs. I can't remember her name, but anyway, Mrs. Lovett. That's it.
Mrs. Lovett.
Mrs. Lovett has a pie shop.
Of course, Mrs. Lovett's pie shop.
Yeah. Originally played by Angela Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Mrs. Lovett has a pie shop.
No, do your Angela Lansbury.
Oh, here we go. But yeah, absolutely love the score. It's not a bad film. It works. For me, I like to watch that one every so often. I just love the score. Films like that, for some reason, just sweep me away with the music.
I like Sacha Baron Cohen was brilliant in it as well.
Absolutely fantastic in it, yeah.
Alan Rickman as well, isn't it?
He's amazing. Yeah, he's great in it too. That duet that him and Johnny Depp do when he's getting his shave, with the pretty women. Da, 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 da. It's amazing. They've got this like crossover harmony and they're singing over each other. It's beautifully done. It must have been a proper head fuck to learn it like that, to learn how to do that.
Do you know something about this film? That one at crew left a polystyrene cup on side at thing in one of the scenes, on the side of like the place where where he has his barber chair.
Like a coffee cup, like a Starbucks thing
like
or something, yeah.
Polystyrene cup on the side of the thing, and it were in there. Yeah.
I mean, standout moments for me are the Sacha Baron Cohen snake oil guy selling his elixir. It's a brilliant song, man. Brilliant. Whenever I try and sing it, or whenever I try and watch it, and I'm trying to mouth the words along, it's a proper tongue twister, and it's got some really impressive bits in it. But yeah, standalone songs in it. The bit where he finds when he gets his razor out, he gets his razors out of the box and he's singing to them and stuff. It's so stupid, but it's a beautiful song. Like being reunited with his old friends, and he's going to get up to some mischief.
Do you think he should have taped one to each finger?
Yeah, sequel style. Hands. Yeah, scissor hands too.
Sequel hands.
Yeah, I do now.
Yeah, you do now.
Yeah. But yeah, Alan Rickman's fantastic in it. Timothy Spall's in it. He's great in it.
Love Timothy Spall. He's a wonderful actor.
There was a water bottle that was left on the windowsill. All right.
Oh, your missus just there to undermine everything you say. Have you guys fallen out and not told us?
No. We're like a couple of teenagers. What's that? What's that from?
Oh, it's Eugene Levy says it, doesn't he? No, it's not. Oh,
come on! I love this movie.
No, you do.
We should do this more often on here.
Yeah, but I can't think on the spot.
Hey, no, we're like a couple of teenagers.
I can't. No, you're gonna have to tell me. I don't know. You've always done this game.
Back to the Future 2.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. But you said it like Eugene Levy. I mean, what else am I going to think?
Threw you off.
You threw me.
All right, Webby, what was your worst Tim Burton film?
Planet of the Farts. Planet of the fucking Apes.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I'll show you.
You changed it.
Oh yeah, I changed it. Okay. Alice in Wonderland. Yeah.
Forget about Alice.
The other one. Now, okay, this is an example of, for me, where Tim Burton is way off the mark. Somebody, oh man, he's a great director. He's a great director sometimes, but other times I think he bites off more than he can chew, and he just thinks, I can turn this into Tim Burton style, and I just think it's really crap. I think
it's better than the Disney version. This one.
What, the original cartoon?
No, yeah, it's closer to the book. This.
Yeah, it's not though. It's really not. It's not. I mean, it kind of like it didn't get off to a great start for me, and then it just surpasses itself in crappiness as you go scene to scene. By the end of it, you're just like, "What the hell?"
I've not even watched this because I didn't want to.
Oh mate, don't waste your time. And I tell you what, they did. Somehow they managed to wangle a sequel out of it as well, which I never bothered with.
Well, it came. Yeah. It was part of a long run of Depp and Burton partnerships, and it kind of watered down.
And Bonham Carter.
Carter as well, and it kind of watered it down a little bit, and that's going to be where we go to my selection, because I think it's a nice link, because that's where I feel like my best Tim Burton film falls foul to sort of a modern day perception, and I think people lump it in with that series of films that he did with Johnny Depp, and my best Tim Burton is going to be Sleepy Hollow. It's a fucking great film. I mean, where'd you start? You know, the cast alone: Christopher Lee, Michael Gambon, Christina Ricci, Richard Griffiths, Miranda Richardson, Michael Goff, Christopher Walken. You know, I mean, Christopher Walken, he doesn't say any words. He just growls throughout the whole film, and it's a fucking outstanding performance. All the horse riding he did, he was terrified the entire time, which for a really cute reason, actually. He'd never horse ridden before. He didn't know how to horse ride. And the reason he was scared is because he was worried that the horse wouldn't like him and might throw him off. And I think that's just quite a cute reason to be terrified when you're riding on horseback.
I think it's really interesting that he deliberately chose this role that has no lines in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the biggest actors in the world choosing to be pretty much mute for an entire film.
But it's a series of events. So there's lots of reasons I like this film. One, the film itself is great. It looks great. It's a really fun film. But it's the series of events that surround it. So you've got... he's playing Ichabod Crane, a Dutch detective who traditionally in the story is quite ugly. He's got big ears, really sticky out ears, got a massive nose. Because they picked Johnny Depp, the studio, and Johnny Depp wanted to wear prosthetics and play the character like he was supposed to in the book, like he was depicted in the book. But the studio, because they paid all the Depp money, they wanted handsome Johnny Depp in it. Now, Tim Burton wasn't supposed to direct the film. The guy who was supposed to direct the film was the same director of Halloween 6, who was coming straight from Halloween 6 to do Sleepy Hollow. Tim Burton was supposed to be doing that Superman film that was written by Kevin Smith with Nicolas Cage that never got made. That film was cancelled. He was paid his full fee, and then the studio, Paramount, or the producer, really wanted Tim Burton to do it. So they spoke to Tim Burton. He came along to do it. And the series of links to that is that they wouldn't let Johnny Depp wear the prosthetics, but Johnny Depp ended up wearing those prosthetics, the big nose, in Tusk, which obviously Kevin Smith film. So it's like all these little links and things like that. It's really nice. Obviously Burton being a massive Hammer horror fan, it's weird that they sacked the original director because he was a big slasher fan. And they didn't want a slasher film, so they got a Hammer horror film. The color grading that they used meant that all of the blood that they had to use had to be orange, so that it came out red when the film was actually released. They built the entire town of Sleepy Hollow in Buckinghamshire. It cost £1.3 million. It's just a fucking great film. People up for the role originally before Johnny Depp were Liam Neeson, Brad Pitt, or Daniel Day-Lewis. It's just absolutely brilliant. I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, I think a lot of this is down to the fact that the story itself is a really, really good story. It's a really classic horror.
It's actually quite far away from the book.
Yeah,
it's like worlds apart, which is what's quite interesting, that he was more faithful to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when he actually wasn't at all to Sleepy Hollow, and lots of fans of the literature don't like the film because of that.
Yeah, I do. I read the book and I like both. I think it's quite possible to like both, right?
Yeah.
I think, but I didn't mind that they made some changes. What they did with the Ichabod Crane that was interesting is he's on the forefront of science, isn't he? And he's got all these like devices flick out from each other, special magnifying
fits into that sort of steampunk style.
Yeah. However, my point is, this is a really good Tim Burton version of Sleepy Hollow. I think there's enough room in the world to see that proper horror version of it. They did a cartoon of it. Disney did a cartoon of it in the 50s, a short cartoon called The Legend of Ichabod Crane. And when you watch that as a kid, that is properly terrifying, because in this middle of this Disney cartoon, all of a sudden he's alone in a pumpkin patch and all the pumpkins' heads are on fire. There's a headless horseman riding around. It's terrifying as a kid.
It's in with Wind in the Willows, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It was in those shorts. They did quite a few shorts, didn't they?
It's also a TV series.
You get the Wind in the Willows, like family friendly, and it's like
yeah.
But there's also a TV series as well.
Yeah, I started.
I think it's on Netflix.
There you go. They did, but what they did was this. I think, from what I remember, they brought Ichabod. It was a bit like Sherlock. They brought him into the future, so he's in the modern day.
Right.
So
we'll have to go back through comments after we've done these, because there's people have put what the favourite and worst. So.
Oh, cool. I mean, I was doing, when that film came out, I was at a youth theatre in Leeds doing a production of Jesus Christ Superstar, and the kid who was playing Pontius Pilate was a little lad who was 12, and he was called Mark Pickering, and he was is Johnny Depp's sidekick in Sleepy Hollow. He's the little lad in it, and God, I hated that kid. He was like 8 years younger than me, and I hated him. I was so jealous that this kid was in a film with Johnny Depp and directed by Tim Burton and all that. But the kid's done a really good job. Did a brilliant job. Fair play to him. And also, 2 Star Wars actors are in the film. Can you tell me who they are?
Not without looking at the cast list.
I haven't seen it for ages, but
okay, so Ian McDermott.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Headless Horseman was Ray Park.
Huh?
Yeah. So a little bit of a Star Wars collection. They filmed some of it. The indoor stuff was filmed on exactly where he'd filmed. They'd done Phantom Menace as well.
I don't like.
Studios.
I'm going to say it again. I don't like Ray Park, but it's for a really strange reason. When we worked at the Odeon, Lummy had a mate who worked at a comic book shop. And
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Ray Park came to do a signing, and everybody went down from the cinema to see him. I didn't go because I wasn't bothered, but everybody went down, and they came back and it was like, told me that he charged 25 quid for an autograph. I was like, who the fuck are you? I wouldn't pay 25 quid to Harrison Ford. Well, maybe Harrison Ford. There was not a lot of people that pay 25 quid for a signature.
But that is how it's done. If you go to Comic-Con,
I know, but it wasn't quite back then in 1997.
No.
It was a bit jumped up for a guy who's been in like 1 or 2 movies.
Maybe it's because he knew he got chopped in half in it, and he thought, I better cash in now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
I'm not a fan of Ray Park either. I'm not a fan of him. But yeah, so Sleepy Hollow, I just think it's a really fun film. It's funny. It's sort of exciting. It's scary in places. The effects are great. It's just a really fun film, and I don't think it gets the credit it deserves. So that is why it's my favourite. You know
what? You say that, but like, look how many people have commented that they really love. I really love this movie as well. It's for me, it's like a properly quintessential, like Sleepy Hollow, like Sweeney Todd.
Yeah,
it's a quintessential example of when Tim Burton's good is really good. And it's like, for me, in his entire career, there's probably maybe 4 movies that really, really go to that level. Edward Scissorhands is one of them for me as well. But it's just Tim Burton to a T.
I nearly picked Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's a good film. It's a good film.
And my worst Tim Burton.
Just for a second. That's what people forget about Tim Burton is in between all this black and white, try and creep you out stuff. There's some really good jokes. The joke in Edward Scissorhands with them all setting off for work at the same time in suburbia, and they all live in alternative pastel shades houses, apart from this one place that's and I think that's really funny. I think it's a really funny premise to play with, that everybody's normal apart from you, so make a joke of it, make an example of it.
No, I agree with you. And my worst Tim Burton is Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
But I've never been a fan of the Planet of the Apes films anyway, and that might give me a little bit of hate, but I just never really enjoyed them. The best version of Planet of the Apes I've ever seen was the Simpsons version.
Yeah.
I hate every ape I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee. It's brilliant.
I agree with you. I've never really enjoyed the Planet of the Apes for the same sort of Highlander reason. It passed me by at a time.
Sean Connery's in it.
No. That's not why I don't like. That's what. Not
Get away from me, you damn dirty apes!
It's one of them films that was a little bit before my time. So by the time it came onto my radar, and it was like 6 or 7 or 8. It was already dated.
Yeah,
the effects the monkey faces already look shit, and Tim Burton's one looked instantly shit.
My eldest brother liked these films, I think, but I never got into them because I used to think, "What are you watching?"
Why would I need to watch? I've got Star Wars. That's what me and Louis thinking. I've got Star Wars and Indiana Jones. I don't need this shit. Back to the Future.
But I don't need a whole planet full of apes.
But I must admit that when they started the recent franchise, I think it's got James Franco in it, the first one. Some of those, the newer ones, are actually pretty good. I quite
got Matt
like
Damon in it as well, or something. Or...
No, it's Tim Burton. No, it's not Tim Burton. Tim Roth. Tim Roth playing the bad guy, Caesar, in it, and he's pretty good in the mocap stuff. He's a pretty good bad guy.
It's got your Andy Serkis in it.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Honestly, I think I watched the first one of the new ones, and just didn't grab me. I was like, nah.
Yeah, when you want a good B movie to watch, they're all right. But yeah, the originals, I think I'm just a bit too young for them.
What exactly did you not like about the Tim Burton one, though, Rich? What was it?
And because when I watch Tim Burton, I watch him for a particular style, and obviously that style is not he's not afforded that style in a film like Planet of the Apes. So I wouldn't have minded seeing what he could have done with it had he been given free reign. I think that's my point. I'd love to have seen.
It's the most un-Tim Burton-like Tim Burton film, isn't it?
Yeah, regardless of all that, you're right, completely right. I agree with you. And where he has tried to inject a piece of Tim Burton into it with the costuming and stuff, doesn't quite work because it's buried along a load of ape costumes. Yeah. But where it bugs me is that, can we talk about the fucking ending for a second? Remember the ending to that movie?
Yeah.
Absolutely batshit crazy ending. I know
what happens at the end. Sorry, what happens at the end again?
Oh, it finally gets back to Earth, and it's the same sort of thing that happens in the originals. I can't remember if I'm going to get this backwards or not, but he gets back to Earth.
It's the Washington Memorial.
Yeah, and it's at the Washington Memorial, and he turns around, and President Lincoln is sat there, Abe Lincoln, and he's a fucking monkey. Sat there in stone.
That's right.
Absolutely crazy.
And then all the monkey police come and
it's crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, just not my cup of tea. But Lobby, what were our communities' best and worst Tim Burtons?
We'll go back up the list. So Terry, favourite is Ali. What? Favourite pick is Alice through the Looking Glass.
Fair enough, because a friend works on it.
Yeah. Right. No, real favourite.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Worst is Beetlejuice. Don't like it. Gina
wow, you two are coming at Tim Burton from a completely opposite.
Yeah.
But that's the good thing about him. There's a lot of interpretation there.
Yeah.
Miss
Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is brilliant. Yeah.
Who said it's worst?
No, I quite liked it. I like Miss Peregrine's
Now put that comment up again. He said
I liked it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to read it. What was his best one?
Here we go. Sleepy Hollow.
Okay. Yeah.
Hang on. There was some more, I'm sure. There was some more.
Completely forgot that Miss Peregrine was Tim Burton. I just assumed it was a person that really liked Tim Burton, the director.
Todd Worst Planet. So there's quite a lot of
crossovers. Yeah, no, that's cool. That was interesting. Cool.
Well, I think that's a good thing about him. He's quite a divisive director. I know at least 3 people that don't like anything he's ever done on fucking principle, that they can't stand him. One of them is my brother.
Right.
Yeah,
I never. I haven't. Do you remember that Ewan McGregor film? He did that Big Fish.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. Saw that once. I don't know whether that holds up.
I liked Big Fish. That was a good film.
I didn't mind it. I just thought that his performance in it was a bit lackluster, and his American accent's never been particularly good.
Yeah, sorry, you have an issue with Ewan McGregor. Not you have an issue with Ewan McGregor, but there's a lot of Ewan McGregor stuff that you're not a fan of. You're quite.
I just think that Ewan McGregor went from being like an indie darling, making loads of impressive wall-breaking stuff like Shallow Grave and Train Spotting, and then went on to do things like Down with Love with Renee Zellweger, which is an absolute stonking piece of turd.
I'll never forget the trailer for that film where he goes, "Hi, I'm Ewan McGregor," and she says, "And I'm Cameron Diaz, and we're doing our new movie, Down with Love," and you're like, "Oh, fuck off."
That missed me by completely.
We had the trailer in the cinema, and every time it used to come on, you used to, oh, Jesus.
I mean, I struggle to pick out Ewan McGregor's decent movies, and it should be easy because he's done quite a lot, but he's done a lot of turd as well. You know, so I mean,
have you seen Fargo with him in it?
Not yet. I've not got up to that series.
Very good. Very good. Okay. You know,
it's a good show anyway.
Series,
it's a good.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
I also like the motorbike thing he did with Charlie Bowman.
So I liked the first 2 were great. I don't know if you watched the latest one on Apple. It wasn't good. So we did the Long Way Down, Long Way Round, Long Way Down. This was the Long Way Up, where they did it on electric bikes.
All right.
And it just, it just wasn't anywhere near as good. It didn't have the heart or the soul.
He always seems to get petrol in his eye. That's what I thought. Were like,
yeah. He
Charlie,
I've got
petrol in my eye, Charlie.
Yeah, that's a really good impression, actually. That's very good.
I just remember the bit when he goes to Tunisia and he's like, "Oh no, we can't visit the Star Wars set. People are going to be like, oh, that guy from Star Wars," and he goes there, and nobody notices him. Like, "Hello, I'm over here." They're like, "No, you're not."
In this one, they're in this little town in the middle of nowhere in South America, and so they're going north, and obviously they don't have electric bikes. So the issue is they have to get. There's only a certain types of places that will charge these bikes, and actually that network doesn't exist in South America. So the company that were making the bikes for them also put in these charging points in sort of certain places, but then they had to get to these places in time and stuff before the power ran out on their bike. So they, it was sort of interesting. They could have done more with that. It should have been longer, to be honest. But they're in this backward town of nowhere, and they're in this sort of closed bar, just having a quick drink or doing a bit to camera, and they turn around and this place was absolutely surrounded with locals and all the people from the surrounding towns, because they heard this guy from Star Wars was there, because it'd been on like TV a few weeks before. So it took them ages to get out of this place, but he was really good. He signed autographs for every single person. He was fair play to him.
Yeah. We've got a couple more things here.
I mean, one sec before. Well, you can show the things, but I want to know. Yeah, I think you're right. I think.
Hey, Pop Not Broth, welcome to the show. Nice to see you.
Don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to him being given a second chance as Obi-Wan, because he wasn't the worst thing in those movies. He wasn't amazing, but I don't think that's entirely his fault. We've talked about the green screen effect and the dodgy dialogue. I reckon this Obi-Wan's got a chance, but. I just wanted Rich, who's seen these long way rounds and downs a bit more, to explain why I hate Charlie Borman so much. I don't even know who he is, but I'm just like, who is this guy?
Charlie Borman is his dad's John Borman.
Director.
I think that's my problem. He's a rich boy who doesn't really. He's a bit disconnected.
No, he's not. He's not. He's an actor. He was an actor himself. Him and Ewan McGregor met on the set of a film that they were doing, and they just hit it off because of their love for motorbikes.
It was put in all his dad put him in all his films though. That is true. It's funny you mentioned. I watched a documentary about him, not Charlie, about John Borman. It was shot by his
big film, The Green Forest.
He did Excalibur. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The old thing. He's done some.
I mean, Charlie Borman wasn't a successful actor. I mean, which is why he's ended up having his sort of fame through his friendship.
He was an actor in his dad's films since he was a kid, though. Him and his sister filmed this documentary about John Borman. Quite interesting to watch, but so he's been in films since. So he's got a leg up there.
I agree with you, Webby. For the first one, I was like, this guy's a bit of a cock. But a couple of them were as well. Like one of the producers on it was a bit of a cock as well. Not Russ, the other guy. That might be Russ, the English guy.
Emerald Forest. Sorry, he's put Emerald Forest to mine. That's
not the Green Forest. Yeah, okay.
In the second season, the stuff that they went through together, and the third one, Charlie Borman came into this with he'd broken his leg like a couple of months before it happened, and had to have his leg fixed and stuff. I think you got to know him more as a person. I liked him more than I did in the first season. But yeah, it's just his mate that they met on the set of the film.
It started to bug me because in my heart of hearts, I quite like Ewan McGregor. Whenever I see him on screen on an interview, he seems like a pleasant guy. So while you guys were just chatting then, I've just had a quick flick through his movie catalogue to see what it is. And the guy has picked some fucking stonkers of films to be in. I just feel like he's not as picky as his talent. Do you know what I mean? He's a talented guy, but the films he's doing are way beneath him. So you start off with things like Trainspotting, Shallow Grave, Brassed Off, which is a brilliant film. Lifeless, and then you
Shallow Grave.
There you go. Little Voice, again, all these beautiful indie films. And then you start getting into things that were supposed to be indie films, and this is where he loses track because they're all like flops. A Life Less Ordinary, Velvet Goldmine. And then you get to Star Wars. And then you get to things like Eye of the Beholder, Rogue Trader, Moulin Rouge is a stinker of a film. Black Hawk Down's okay. But honestly, it just goes on. Down with Love, Big Fish. They're all just dodgy films. All of them. The Island, a famous flop. The Island, do you remember The Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a massive flop. Stormbreaker, another flop. Yeah, it's literally in a load of weird films. I Love You, Philip Morris. Angels and Demons, which you guys told me the other week is absolute gash.
Yeah.
Men Who Stare at Goats. Nanny McPhee. It's literally not done anything noteworthy for years. The Impossible, that was good. The one about the tsunami in Thailand is in that. That was pretty good. That's Tom Holland's first film. But yeah, even then, Jack the Giant Slayer, A Million Ways to Die in the West, famously crap. Mordecai, rubbish.
I haven't seen Birds of Prey, Pop Not Broth.
Yeah, Birds of Prey. Yeah, he was.
I haven't seen it.
He wasn't great in it. I didn't think Birds of Prey was in. Yeah, I saw that recently and I didn't dig it. But that's
supposed to be good in Last Days in the Desert.
I don't know what that is, but
no.
Yeah. But I want him to be good. He was good in Christopher Robin. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
that was all right.
It was all right. It's quite sweet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, that was an interesting segue into unplanned segue into all things Ewan McGregor. But we are going to have a retrospective into the Jurassic Park film franchise. So, gentlemen, Jurassic Park. Did you really watch any of them before the show tonight?
No, I've seen them enough times. I've not seen the last one.
The latest one.
Yeah.
Damn it! So I was hoping you could remind me whether I've seen that one or not.
I've seen the first and the last one. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll go through. Well, I mean, should we just go through each one?
So first of all, Jurassic Park. I mean, obviously. Postmodernly has been referenced in loads of films, with the whole glass shaking, water shaking in the glass, and all that sort of stuff.
And the monster at the window breathing onto it's not in the steam.
Yeah. Interesting film. Loads of mistakes in it. I don't know if either of you watched Cinema Sins, but yeah, there's quite a few mistakes in Jurassic Park.
Mistakes in everything. What stuff?
This is a great example of how when Steven Spielberg is on form, he can turn something like this into a really good family movie. The book is not a family book. It is one of the scariest fucking books I've ever read in my life. Yeah. It's terrifying. It's really, really good. It's really good. Do you guys remember? I think they might have put it in one of the later movies, but there's a bit where to get away from the T-Rex, they jump into a raft and they sort of paddle along this lake. And Alan Grant, I think, says to the kids, don't worry, T-Rexes have only got little arms. They can't swim. And all of a sudden you hear this fucking splash and the T-Rex starts coming. It's unbelievable. Yeah. It really is intense.
It's very, very different, the book, isn't it, really? I mean,
it is, yeah. It starts
John Hammond dies at the end of the book as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. And it starts off with a baby getting eaten by dinosaurs.
Yeah,
we trying to get into the Lost World.
Yeah, Some of the stuff was too scary for the first one, but then they figured out.
Oh, actually, it isn't in Lost. It's a little girl in it, but you're right. An actual baby
is in a nunnery in the middle of Costa Rica, and the little chicken dinosaurs that have escaped jump in, and they start pecking it to death. Yeah. And the nun runs in, and this baby's crying its eyes out. She's like, "What's going on?" Flicks the lights on, and there's dinosaurs all over this baby. It's terrifying.
Okay, so if Jurassic Park existed, which one of the characters do you think you would be in that film? Because I found myself watching it thinking, well, I'd be Jeff Goldblum in this because they're all fucking idiots having this theme park open with all these dinosaurs and they're playing God and they reap what they sow, sort of thing. How did you guys feel watching it? How did you sympathise with Richard Attenborough's?
Well, we can't all be Goldblum, can we? But I think we all want to be in this movie.
Do we all? Well, I mean, Sam Neill though.
Not only is he the one that spots the truth a mile off before it even happens, he's also got all the best lines in the film.
Yeah.
You think they'll have that on the tour when the fucking dinosaurs chase it? It's just he's wisecracking his ass off and he's great in it. And the bit where he explains the chaos theory to the sexy lady
with that hand, and he's like, it's creepy.
And he's flirting with her right in front of his of a partner. He's flirting with her. and you're just
It's
like
creepy as fuck.
I'm pretty sure Sam Neill's character's sitting there going, "That guy could steal my woman." No, I think
they had a bit of they have a bit of a thing going on them two anyway, though. I think that's why.
What, Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah,
yeah,
they were lovers.
Yeah,
exclusive.
No, Laura Dern and
Jeff Goldblum.
But I don't know. But yeah,
I forgot that Samuel L. Jackson was in the film.
Yeah.
Completely forgot Sam Jackson was in it.
First films, I think. This.
I don't know about you guys, but whenever it was. Yes, it was.
Really?
Yeah. I think
I feel like Sam Jackson has been around for years.
Everybody thinks that.
And it was in Coming to America as a little cameo. It was also, I don't know if it was before this, it was in Patriot Games as a little thing with Harrison Ford, a very tiny bit.
And I think it was in some of the late 80s, early 90s Spike Lee stuff, which is where he started getting his credibility.
Okay.
And then he was lucky enough to hit stratospheric reaches with Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yeah.
So Pulp Fiction is his first widespread big movie because he's in Jurassic Park, but he's a guy in the office, isn't he, really?
And he gets killed, he gets his arm bitten off.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but every time I go to a festival and I go to a Portaloo, I can't help but think a T-Rex is going to chomp me. I think that's
every time I go to a festival and I go to a Portaloo, I think of the time that I was at a festival and we were sat having a beer, watching a band play in a field, and there was some commotion sort of to my right, and I looked over, and basically a group of guys had pushed a Portaloo over on its front door first, and all of the contents, apart from the human who was trapped inside it, all of the contents from inside this Portaloo came shooting out of the chimney at the top of the Portaloo and landed about 3 meters away from us. It was fucking disgusting. It absolutely stank. And the poor person that was stuck inside the Portaloo couldn't get out because it landed on the door, and all their friends had to come over and get them out. And they came out, and it was like blue water. Oh, it was horrible, man.
Scarier than Jurassic Park.
That's more terrifying than a T-Rex.
Jurassic Shark. No.
Jurassic Shark, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was horrible.
So, first film then, I mean, the visuals in this film, this is what started it all, isn't it? CGI, that bit with the car, unbelievable. With the, with the kids trapped under it and T-Rex pushing down and sinking in the mud and all that. Looks amazing. When you first saw this film at cinema, unbelievable. Nobody's seen anything like it.
But if you watch it now,
the first film, I think, still holds up with the effects.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
So I was watching it the other day, and I got a little nostalgia for when I used to watch Jason and the Argonauts as a kid.
Right. Yeah,
and I was like, it's a little bit dated.
I think the
thing it's an old film. I
think the thing is as well is the CGI is not too heavy in it. A lot of it's just puppetry, and the puppetry is great.
True.
Well, I think the scene I just said, I think that holds up really. Because it's at night as well. That always helps with effects.
It was actually the first time you saw a dinosaur when Sam Neill gets out of the car, and the Diplodocus is walking.
Oh yeah.
Along. Yeah. I think it was that moment there, and I just got a little bit like, oh, it's a bit Jason and the Argonauts.
And you know what? Depending on your style of what you prefer from your jokes, it's actually got some decent jokes in it. Some bad jokes as well. I'm not a fan of the "wow, that's a huge pile of shit" line. That's just like to make the kids giggle. But I do like the joke where the kid's climbing the electric fence and he's like, "Are you sure it's not going to come back on?" He's like, "No." And then he's like, "Hurry up!" And then he goes, he counts to 3 before he jumps. He goes 1, 2, bzzzt, and then he lands on the floor and he's all smoky. And he goes 3. And there's some good stuff in it. And the dinosaur sneeze bit's quite funny as well. Where they all got
with the little girl when she's about to touch it. Yeah.
Terry's done some fact checking for us here. Samuel Jackson was in 42 things before Jurassic.
Why is she trying to undermine us? Terry, back off.
What 42 things were there though? Were they like short films?
This is what I mean. Yes, exactly. And also, I tell you who else is shockingly not had a massively long career. Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman was not. He was in lots of stuff like Samuel L. Jackson in 42 things.
So for a second, then I was like, he was not in Jurassic Park.
No. I'm on about actors that you think have been around longer because they're old. Morgan Freeman was pretty much Shawshank.
He did a TV show. I watched a thing with him once, and he was talking about his TV show. He used to be on like his kids' TV show.
Dude, it's Sesame Street. He plays a character in Sesame Street called the Reader or something like that, and he hangs out with Big Bird and teaches the kids how to read.
You are helping, don't
you? Are, love. I'm on it.
I think you're on fire tonight, Terry. Ignore these two dickheads. Ungrateful dickheads. Look, the thing is, we want to put facts out there. I don't want to give out misinformation. If that means we're being corrected by a community, so be it. That's the point. We're a community here, ladies and gents. We're always getting Big T and Martin correcting us.
I believe that. I just thought that 42 Things was the name of an obscure movie that we didn't think of. It was in 42 Things with Stephen Baldwin.
So, what about Jurassic Park 2? Jurassic Park 2's on the island, isn't it?
Oh, hang on. Loaded Weapon. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have seen Loaded
Weapon. He plays the Danny
Goodfellas. Didn't realise he was in Goodfellas.
Yeah. That's because he's not. He's in a blink and you'll miss it bit. That's the point.
So, Jurassic Park 2.
The Lost World.
Here we go. So,
there was another island, right? Is that this one?
Yeah, this is Site B.
Yeah, there was a Site B. They were working on another park, but it went way out of control before Jurassic Park did, and the dinosaurs.
This is where they bred the dinosaurs to send them to Site A.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Right, okay. Also, it's a definite. You've got that sequel. The first movie comes out, and then the second one comes out, and they basically do aliens. That's the plot. They send an army team in after whatever they're after, a ghost, a dinosaur, whatever it is, and that's what they do in this. They send the fucking Marines in after all the dinosaurs.
So who's the main good guy in this? Because obviously Sam Neill, Jeff's back.
Jeff Goldblum on his own. You've got
Sam Neill's
on his own. On his own. He takes
Sam Neill.
You've got Vince Vaughn as one of the team of dino experts, and you've got Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
As Jeff Goldblum's girlfriend.
Okay.
Not a bad one, actually. It's not a bad one. That scene with them getting flipped over in the safari mobile kind of has a parallel in this movie where they're in this big ginormous trailer that's set up with loads of computers looking for dinosaurs and shit, and it goes over the edge of the cliff and it's hanging there. That's sort of the equivalent of it, isn't it?
Here we go. Pete Postlethwaite as well. He's great.
Yeah, he's a bad guy in it.
Yeah.
Dinosaur Hunter. Oh, was he in the? Who's the? Oh no, that's Robert Muldoon, the character, isn't it? The
Clever
guy
girl.
Clever girl. Yeah.
In the first one, there's that little kid who's like, it doesn't look very scary. That bird doesn't look scary. And Sam Neill was like, thing is about velociraptors, they hunt in packs. And when you're looking at one in the eye and the others come and he tells them that story and the kid just shits his pants. I was watching it and I was like, does this kid grow up to be Jonah Hill? And I ended up having to Google it. Because he looks like a very, very young. It's not Jonah Hill, but he looks. If you look at it, next time you're watching it, I swear he looks the spit of Jonah Hill. You could have told, and it's the age of the film as well. It would have worked for him to be in it.
We didn't even mention Richard Attenborough either, did we?
Oh, Dickie.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah. He's great.
Is he in the second one?
Do you know what strikes?
Briefly.
Do you know what strikes me about the kid getting the lecture from Sam Neill, though, is a kid shows up to your dig site to learn about dinosaurs, and you want to encourage people to be paleontologists, but he's not that kind of paleontologist. He's kind of like, no, you got to learn this. It's a bit like Indiana Jones. I don't think Indiana Jones would appreciate a ton of archaeologists following him trying to, find holy grails and shit. They've got that miserable old man feel about him, and I really like that about his character.
He is very much an Indiana Jones style character, the Sam Neill.
They actually asked Harrison Ford to play the role, and he said it was too similar. Said it was too similar to.
He's right. Jones. Harrison's right, man. I think, he is. Yeah. There's enough room in the world, isn't there, for more people than Harrison Ford to just play every
archaeologist. Yeah.
Well, no, the cast. I mean, we're talking about first one again, but the cast in the first one, I think, was pretty solid. Second one, it's all right. There's some nice set pieces, but I don't know.
The third one, from what I remember, is a rich couple.
Hang on. Let's not. Whoa, hang on. The second one has got the bit at the end that's tagged on where the T-Rex goes to San Diego. Do you remember?
What?
Yeah. Like starts chomping around in San Diego.
They capture it and they put it in the back of a big ship in its tanker, and they
it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's like
they drug it and keep it asleep, but it wakes up the closer they get to San Diego.
It's a
bit of a cheesy bit.
Well,
yeah, because people like having family dinners, isn't there? And it's walking through the backyard, stepping in the pools and shit. And
originally, there was going to be a different ending, but Spielberg wanted to get them onto the mainland. That's what he wanted to do. So that's why the ending feels so tagged on, and it is. It is.
Wow.
Because it doesn't continue from there. It doesn't continue from there, does it? In the third movie.
Well, they send it back to the island on the boat in the end. So
okay.
Yeah, I guess.
It sounds awful.
Oh, that's because it's got a baby T-Rex, and the baby T-Rex, they have to get the baby T-Rex and tie it to the mast of the ship or something while it cries for its mama, and then the mummy T-Rex comes back.
I'm glad I haven't seen
There's a really dumb bit, right, where Julianne Moore, who's supposed to be, I just remembered this, she's supposed to be this expert kind of paleontologist, and she leaves a jacket hanging in a tent with dinosaur blood on it from the baby, right? Thinking that'll be all right. The other T-Rex ain't going to come and bother us with that. Honestly, it's like, what? There's some
going back to the first one, there was a moment that I mean, you know my love for animals and how I'm going to get much more emotional about an animal dying than a human being dying in a film. I absolutely hated the fact that the first time they got up and close and personal with a dinosaur, it was that sick triceratops that was just lying on its side, and it's like, I'm dying, and they're all going, "Oh my god, look how that! It's a take a picture. No, you take a picture. No.
You know what? You know what, Rich?
Like,
to be fair, they're not. The idiots in the movie are doing that. The lady, who's the herbologist, is like, well, the problem is...
No, she is. Her and Sam Neill are still going...
Yeah, they're obviously, they're in wonderment.
Oh, my God.
But the point of that is that they've set up this entire park and not done the research properly, and they put foliage out there.
That's poisonous to the dinosaur. I get that. But you never see that dinosaur again, either. It's just fucking left there. It's never even mentioned. You don't know if it gets better. How do we know that? That was my main concern of the whole film.
They shipped it out.
Seriously, throughout the whole film, I was worried about that Triceratops.
They shipped it out and gave it its own park. That's what
it went to a farm. It went to a farm. Is that what you're going to say?
We keep going back to the first film here. We should have kept on the first film.
It's the only one getting to see. We have to.
Yeah, right.
No, I've seen the first and the last.
The kitchen bit as well with the Velociraptors is brilliant. That's
yeah. Which was repeated in the last film as well.
Yeah, right.
Now number 3. What I remember about this one is it's got William H. Macy and Tia Leone as a rich couple who go to get Sam Neill, con him into going back to Costa Rica to do something. But it's
hang on. So their kid goes missing. Basically, he's on a sail thing. What do you call them? Like a
parasail thing.
Parasail. That's it.
Oh.
He's parasailing. He goes missing, and they con. You're right. They con Sam Neill to go there, but it happened at Site B, which Sam Neill has never been to. So the one that was just in the Lost World. That's the place to take him to. And he says on the plane, he goes, I've never been here before. And they're like, oh shit. So they have to track this kid down. It's a strange one, this, because you've got the new dinosaur in it as well. The big, it's on the picture there. Look, I can't remember what it's called.
Oh god, it's the made up one, isn't it?
Yeah,
but where they crossed the DNA of a Tyrannosaurus with an Allosaurus or something. Indominus Rex. Is it
that's
that the new
Jurassic, one? That's Jurassic World. Anyway, but the Spinosaurus. There you go.
Scary ass. But I tell you what is quite chilling in this is where they find the giant aviary with full of pterodactyls.
And again, that was in the first book.
Yeah, it's quite a good bit, that. And it's weird because they've been to that island before and they never saw it, but they turn a corner, don't they? They end up in the flipping aviary with these ginormous pterodactyls, which are actually quite scarily done, quite menacing.
They are, and it doesn't kind of wimp out on it, does it? It like comes and grabs one of them, doesn't it, and like roughs him up. And
scratches him real good.
Sick Triceratops, outtakes. And there's this other one from Big T earlier on that I quite liked.
I'm sorry, I'm never going to watch it. I think the moment's passed.
Martin!
Yeah.
Harsh.
Dude, that's the reality of Flintstones world, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when they weren't driving the brontosauruses around, they were chopping them up and eating them.
So what else have we got? Right, I'm trying to think what happens in the middle of the film.
Oh, they have to. The plane lands on the private runway, and that's how they're supposed to escape. But then they run out of the jungle with a shitload of dinosaurs chasing them, and it's not quite as simple as that.
So do they find the kid?
Find the kid, and he's
unfortunately,
yeah.
Unfortunately, they do, because he's one of the worst fucking child actors I've ever seen in my life.
How old is he? How old
9,
is he?
10, 11, something
and
like
he
that.
was parasailing by himself?
No, he's with somebody.
But he's dead, the guy who we were with.
Yeah, it was with a bodyguard. And somehow this kid's managed to survive on his own on an island full of flesh-eating dinosaurs. For like,
had the dinosaurs taken him as their own and like reared him and raised him as
the Jungle Book?
He was like slightly savage. He's walking around like this. He's got full arms, but he's just walking around like this. And,
no, it's just every time they approached him to eat him, he just did a soliloquy from Hamlet, and they bolted into the fucking jungle because he couldn't stand his shitty acting.
Oh my God!
Sorry, man. You know me and child actors.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a really silly bit in this where Alan Grant's on the plane having a dream, and there's a dinosaur, and it talks to him, and it's really weird.
Yeah, a dinosaur air hostess.
Well, yeah, it goes, Alan. Yeah, it's really odd.
It's really weird, yeah.
So by this point, it seems like it's more of a sort of pastiche parody of itself. The third one.
Well, it's not a parody; it's meant to be serious, but it's just so weird that you think, "What are you doing?" I don't know. But
that's really strange.
Oh, there's the bit with the dinosaur eggs as well. And the guy. That's it. They're trying to fund their dig. That's why they agreed to go on this. There's meant to be sightseeing, showing this couple around the sites of the, of the things, and they'll fund their dig.
So it's like in the first one where Dickie Attenborough promises he'll fund their dig for the next 3 years. And
then one of the Alan Grant's sidekick, who we forgot all about, he steals some of the dinosaur eggs to sell them later to fund some money when they find out that these guys actually haven't got them any money to give them because they were just after the sun. But then you get the T-Rexes tracking them down all through the movie and chasing after the eggs. And at the end, there's a bit where they put the eggs down and they all pick them up and run off into the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, what could go wrong?
He's got a replica that he 3D printed of a Velociraptor's throat, hasn't he, as well, that he blows down.
That's because in this one, the big discovery that Alan Grant's made in this one is that dinosaurs are linked to birds. The DNA, their bone structure is all very similar. So he proposes that the way they would have made sound is the same as a bird would now. So he recreates this thing, but then he uses it, doesn't he? Dinosaur windpipe. Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And the guy, can we just have props for Wayne Knight, the guy from Seinfeld? I know we're going back to the first movie, but Wayne Knight, Newman from Seinfeld, is one of the best, most devious, sweaty little bad guys ever. The guy who steals the embryos and puts them in the shaving cream. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
you don't know the magic word.
Yeah.
He's great in it. He's really gets under your skin.
Don't get cheap on me, Dadson.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. I like that bit when he goes to meet the guy and they're making the deal in the cafe in South America. It's great.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, fair to say that the sequels are a little bit.
Well, have you seen Jurassic World?
Yeah, so let's get on to that. So
definitely seen the first one with Chris Pratt. Have I seen the next one?
Well, let's do the first one first. Hang on. So, what do you think? I really enjoyed this when it came out.
I liked it too.
I think it was done well. I think it was kind of a reboot, but still continuing in a way because they've got the world. I liked all the. I mean, it's exactly what you would imagine a theme park like that would be as well in a modern kind of cruise ship of people coming in and mass money. They're after.
This is around the point of time where you start thinking Chris Pratt has gone from being that fat guy in Parks and Recreation to being like the next Harrison Ford, and I'm looking at him all the way through this film thinking you're the shoe-in to replace Indiana Jones.
And I wish he had
got the acting chops. He's got the comedy. He's got the look of him. He's got the stubble. I think he'd make a fantastic Indiana Jones.
Indy 6, you saw it here.
A few people have said that, haven't they? So yeah.
But because he's played that Alan Grant type character now, he's got the same problem that it's too similar to India. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, he makes those films work as well. You do believe that he can talk to the dinosaurs with his...
that's one thing I was going to say. I liked that in this. I don't know what you guys think. I like the fact that he'd reared these dinosaurs up from being young and he could actually communicate with them in that way.
Well, yeah, because otherwise you just have velociraptors ripping everybody to shit throughout the entire movie because they're worse than all the big dinosaurs, the little bastards, those guys.
I like Chris Pratt's character in this. I think it's he's kind of young, cantankerous, impatient, but passionate about what he does. You know, just that little thing where he knocks that guy out of the way, and it's like never turn your back on the cages because you just know these velociraptors are just sneaky, clever fucks. You know, and it's and he's got absolute respect for that as well.
And Bryce Dallas Howard's character has taken a lot of crap from people because essentially she makes some really horrendous decisions. She's running away from dinosaurs in high-heeled shoes and stuff. And it's a little bit annoying. But I thought she was really good in it, and I liked their backstory. That I always like. I'm a sucker for it. Every time you get a character like we talked about Indy and Marion Ravenwood, that love-hate relationship. Yeah, and you know where it's going. It's really obvious, but I still like it. I still like that.
I like it. I thought she was good in it. She's a good actress.
Yeah. So plot of the first Fallen. What is it?
Just Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. What is the plot of this one, dude?
So basically, they've got the Indominus Rex, haven't they? This new dinosaur they've created by mixing Velociraptor with T-Rex and some other stuff, I think, in there. So it's a complete hybrid dinosaur of their own creation. That's what they're all saying. You know, is it ethical and all that? And I think Chris Pratt's character thinks it shouldn't have been done. And you know, and it can basically, it's got camouflage ability as well. If you remember that.
He's there because he's the man for the job to look after the dinosaurs, but he's against the principles of Jurassic Park opening again, and is against the fact that they've learned fuck all from the first three movies, and they're just going to do the same thing again. There's plot devices in this, so they've got these little bubbles that they can ride around in, haven't they? These little bubble cars. And there's a bit where the two kids get in one and it all goes wrong and they go off the beaten track and end up kicked around like a football by ginormous dinosaurs.
Yeah.
and then they come across the old visitor centre, don't they, at one point? So there's a bit of nostalgia there for the first film. I think that's just to show you it's the same island, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I think it was good. I quite liked it. And
I thought it was a nice shift away from how the sort of the original Jurassic Park films were going. I thought it was a nice rebrand.
They needed to do it, didn't they? Where else could it have gone? You know.
And I think it says a lot about the corporate structure of the world as well, like the way that this corporation's now taken over Jurassic Park, and despite the guy who originally set it up, at the end of the movie, seeing the error in his ways, realizing he's done a stupid thing, they've just ignored. He's dead now, so they've just ignored him and done it again.
I just remember, there's another important plot point, and that guy's trying to weaponize dinosaurs, isn't there? That guy who comes in, I can't remember his name. He wants him to train the Velociraptors, doesn't he? To go into combat zones and stuff. That he's like Mr. Bad Guy. I can't remember his name. He might have been called Mr. Bad Guy.
Mr. Bad Guy. It sounds good enough. And obviously, when Chris Pratt meets him, he's like, "You want to do what? That's not going to work." And he goes, "Well, we're going to do it anyway." And it'll take us the whole movie to learn that you were right and we were wrong. Yeah.
But interesting,
what happens in the next one then, Lon? How does this one link?
We forgot about the biggest...
Victor Hoskins, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, that's him, yeah. We forgot about the big dinosaur as well, didn't we? The water... I don't know what Mosasaurus, I think it's called. The big
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that was good to see that.
Yeah, because it's got a prehistoric shark thing dangling over the water, hasn't it? And it comes up to feed.
Yeah. Bit of a
the Mosasaurus.
Yeah.
I think the bit where it all goes apeshit and the people that are 1 minute strolling around Jurassic Park buying cotton candy and whatever, hats and shit, all of a sudden they get attacked by dinosaurs. It's pretty cool, yeah. But the second one, I can't remember. What happens is how does Jurassic World end?
Right, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So I have only seen this film once, and I am going to watch it.
So this is the one in 2018. I don't think I've seen this one, actually.
Oh, shit. This is Bad one, isn't it?
So basically, at the start, the island, there's an active volcano under the island. All the dinosaurs are going to get wiped out. So they have to form a rescue party.
No, this is the one. No, I have seen this one, and it made me cry.
Yeah.
I
can imagine.
I felt sorry for the dinosaurs.
Yeah. So they basically the volcano erupts, and all the dinosaurs are going to get, lava to death, burnt to death, or whatever you want to say. So they do a rescue operation. Does what's her name? Her out of the Bryce Dallas Howard, Claire in it, I think her name.
Claire and Chris Pratt's character.
Yeah. So they go and try and get as many dinosaurs off the island, but they don't get there really in time enough to save a load of them, and they end up leaving a load behind. There's a bit of a silly sequence with one of them gyro ball things at the start where there's a guy with her like a sidekick, and they go in it and it falls off a giant cliff and it goes underwater and all that. But it's very CGI heavy, is that?
Yeah, that's what lost me. That bit at the end where it's supposed to be sad as you're watching all the dinosaurs jump off cliffs away from you.
There's a brontosaurus left on the dock.
That's the one. That's the one that I beefed my eyes out.
I just got swept up in a wave of CGI bullshit, so I think that ruined my enjoyment.
I think for the start of the film as well, it was a bit bad play because it really was so much CGI to start the film. Right at the start of the film, you're like, I don't know. But then what happens is, if I remember correctly, I've only seen it once. It turns out, which I didn't really like this idea, that Hammond had a silent business partner. Who funded the thing with him, and it kind of changes the whole. They do this quite a lot in films, don't they? They change the backstory, and you end up going, what? So I remember watching it thinking, but that means that where was this guy for all the other fucking movies, and where's he been?
Yeah, he's a very silent partner.
Yeah. It's like, did he forget he'd invested in it or something?
Yeah.
But and then what happens is in the film, which I think this film is just a stepping stone to set up the next one, really. Because they do this big giant dinosaur auction at this house, and they're selling them all to international. And they're getting sold left, right, and centre. All these dinosaurs to people. So they're buying all endangered dangerous species, I should say. So
it's like diluting the. It's kind of like the Tiger King in America. There's a lot of people who buy the tigers. Having said all this about the movies, right? If they were to open Jurassic Park tomorrow, and we've seen these movies, we know it's a bad idea. Could you honestly put your hand on your heart and say you wouldn't want a ticket to go see these dinosaurs?
I'd go.
I'd really want to see them as well. I'd take the risk.
But
I'd wait a few weeks. I won't go on opening day though. I'd wait a few weeks.
Let them iron out all the problems first.
See, I don't know. I think morally, I'd probably have an issue with it because that's the whole point of these films. And the same with Westworld and anything that deals with humans playing God and creating sentient species that are capable of their own thoughts and have feelings on that, and then
you're bringing feelings into it for. Dinosaur.
Well, that's the whole point with that brontosaurus on the dock at the end. It's so for me morally, I think I'd have an issue with it. It's why I don't go to zoos much.
So do the majority of the scientists in these movies. Whoever the good guys are, they're us basically. They're the people saying this is morally wrong and probably going to go terribly, terribly badly. However, look at the beautiful dinosaur. Do you know what I mean? I can't say hand on heart that. I mean, in the very least, I'd want to see a really good YouTube video of a tour of Jurassic Park.
Well, let's also explore the fact that we wouldn't be able to afford it. Just in practical terms, you'd have to fly to some mainland place, then charter a light aircraft or some sort of boat to then take you to an island and then pay to get in there. I mean, they would price the shit out of that, surely, right?
I reckon you're talking at below deck charter money, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you've got any more lights? You look like you're just completely in the dark.
No, it actually comes across as a lot brighter on.
Oh, it's like you're, when they do them interviews and they've got to blank out the witness. Now we believe that's better.
I'm in witness protection. That's why.
Yeah. You've just blown your cover then now.
No, it doesn't matter.
You spent a week on Jurassic Park, didn't you? That's why you've agreed to have your favourite blanked out.
I signed a non-disclosure agreement with them.
Yeah.
I can't say anything.
So what's your favourite out of all of the Jurassic Park films?
The original first one.
Yeah, I've got to pick the first one as well. It's the one that started it off in it. And
it is, but I think it's the one that gets most of it right for the kind of movie they're going for.
I even like the start of the first one where you don't see any of the dinosaurs because it's so true in it that
yeah.
They're not on the schedule. They won't work on a schedule. So the fact that they're going and going, where are they? It's that.
I find it. Is it? Am I wrong in thinking that when they dig out the piece of amber that they find the ancient mosquito in the mine, that John Hammond just happens to be right there as they pull it out the wall, and he's like,
pretty much,
bloody hell,
pretty much, he was.
The guy pulls it out of the rock, and John Hammond's right there picking it up. So I'm pretty sure.
He's there on it, because he's then got it on the end of his walking stick.
Yeah, it gets polished up, doesn't it? I'm sure he's there because you think, hang on a minute, you've just been hanging around for months waiting for him to dig out a piece of amber.
But I thought
he showed up exactly. But
I thought the point was he was funding that.
But does that mean he would be on site? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been years since I see it. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, they must be finding it all the time. They've got a lot of dinosaurs.
So will you watch Jurassic Park 6?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Of course. I'll tell you why. I've got the poster. Look at the cast. We've got Goldblum, Dern. Everybody's back. Everybody. It's going to be the last one. It's going to be the last one.
Look how far down on the billing Chris Pratt is as well. Put that up again. Chris Pratt's not even on the first line.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not in it that much.
I mean, it's in alphabetical order, isn't it?
BD Wong is what's his name?
It's in alphabetical order, Webb. That's why.
Oh, is it? He's in BJ Wong. Rich is Hugo Strange from Gotham.
Yes, of course he is. Yes.
Yeah. He's one of the most gloriously overacting guys in the world, but he gets it right. He's so over the top.
Dr. Henry Wu.
I was just remembered what happened at the end of the last one. It was where they got to, they all were out in the mainland, wasn't it? And there's that bit where they go to, there's a zoo, isn't there? And T-Rex goes up to the lion. Do you remember?
And which one's this?
The first movie. The last one.
Last one.
No.
As if to say, and then that's what happens in this new film. Then they're all out in the wild. They're literally. There were a teaser one that came out, and it had like a trailer park, and they got destroyed by one of the T-Rexes, I think. So,
okay. When's it due out? This next one?
Is it next year? Sure.
I would imagine so. How are we doing with the comments?
Do you have any comments on the show? Yeah, I'll bring some up. Paul Brox, I never saw any of the Jurassic films, but all I remember is being supervisor at a popcorn stand at Showcase when two locked the doors, stopped people coming in. Foyer was packed, yeah. String same film. I didn't know you're a projectionist, Pop Not Brox.
Oh, you're in an elite group with Mr. Long.
Look at that. Any other comments?
Projectionists unite.
Terry hasn't watched Highlander. Told you.
Yeah, you're in good company. But she loves Sean Connery.
Does Sam's apprentice steal the egg? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on. What? In which one's that?
That's in the third one.
Oh, in the third one, right? Okay. Raptor eggs. Eggs.
Oh, yeah, eggs. There we go. James Cromwell in Jurassic World.
Oh yeah. James Cromwell is a really good actor. Fantastic actor.
Fallen Kingdom was about end of island and dinosaurs auction. I said that, Martin.
God, you two are really snappy with everyone tonight.
Super Raptor kid, yeah. There was a Super Raptor, wasn't there? Sad bit with Brontosaurus on Island, yeah.
Thank you, Martin. That was really sad. I felt awful about that.
I laughed at that bit.
Yeah, of course you did, because you're a heartless bastard, Chris.
I didn't. I was sad about it too. James Cromwell was dying business partner.
That was it, yes.
Yes, I forgot about that kid who was in it. Yeah.
You've just made me do a big sigh of satisfaction there, because I hate it when we leave things and we don't really know what we're talking about.
Hang on, there was a kid in it though, cloning his dead daughter. I honestly can't. I'm going to watch the second one again. The last one, because the second.
I think I might have to as well, because I've clearly.
I literally
with a bad taste in my mouth and just let the CGI annoy me too much. There might be a story beyond the CGI.
Maybe we'll report it next time on what we found out again. Westworld, now I would go there and hang out in Shogun World.
Yeah. Westworld,
I mean,
exciting.
Don't ask me what the hell happened in the last series. I got 2 series in. I still haven't got around to series 3.
Isle of Man.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah. It would be less expensive to go to. The silly isles.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Camp Cretaceous.
Yeah, we should have watched that.
What about the computer games of Jurassic Park? I know there's a really good arcade game. The Jurassic Park arcade game is awesome.
I had it on Amiga, that were all right. Overhead kind of down thing, and then Mega Drive.
That was hard. That was quite hard, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Mega Drive was all right, I thought.
I don't think they've ever nailed a Jurassic Park game, though, from my...
Lego Jurassic Park web.
Yeah, well, I haven't played that.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Is it?
Play it, it's great.
Has it got all the Jurassic Parks in, or is it just the last 2?
It's got 4. It's got 4 in them. It's got 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, so then...
Now, that is something I would be interested in you share playing and me watching, Webby. That's one of those ones I'd be interested in seeing their little Lego dinosaurs.
Well, considering my financial state at the minute, I won't be buying any games for the next 75 years, something like that. So we might be better off getting Lummy to play it again, and we'll both share play him.
Yeah.
We'll live vicariously.
If we figure out how to get a game window in there, we could do it live while we're talking, but I don't know how to do that yet. We'll try.
Oh, mate, you're bad enough when you read a book. I can't play a game and talk to audiences.
I can do
All
it.
right.
I'm playing a game now. I'm playing Lego Indiana. I'm not. But I don't know if anybody's seen that Jurassic Park animation thing on Netflix.
I don't know. Let us know, guys. I've heard it's all right. I've heard it's all right.
We've got some more comments. Big Team Art, first movie great, especially when I went to cinema.
It's got something we didn't actually mention. It's got some really good jump scares in that movie.
Yeah. Well, I never forget the first time I saw this in cinema, and there was a row. I went on afternoon with a mate of mine, right? And we were sat, it were pretty empty, but there were a school party of kids in 2 rows ahead of us, right? And the bit where we talked about earlier, where arm comes out of the thing.
Yeah, Sam Jackson's arm.
It's when the Velociraptor hits out of the thing then. After
yeah.
This row of kids just went boom. All at once. It was brilliant. It was really funny.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
There's some good bit. I think that's the good thing about the first one. It really is.
I saw that at the ABC in Leeds with my brother and my best friend at the time. Well, both our best friend at the time, and the same thing happened, and nobody were expecting it. That bit where the Velociraptor pops out after the arm, everybody shit themselves. It was really cool.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's a good thing about being in the cinema. It really does change your perspective on certain movies. You know, I remember seeing Sixth Sense. I totally related, but seeing Sixth Sense for the first time at a film festival at the Odeon when we worked there. Nobody knew what this film was, and the cinema was absolutely packed. 1,000 seats in Odeon 1, and there were 1,000 people in there, all jumping at the same time. And I was stood at the back with my torch, not the torch went on, but stood there as an usher at the back, just joyfully watching this audience leap out the seats several times in the bloody movie.
Do you remember one of the biggest jump scares I had was 7, where they're keeping that guy alive on the bed.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! I thought I would have an heart attack. I jumped about 90 miles.
Mate, we probably could do a segment on jump scares, because the one that gets me every time is Jaws with that bloody head, that floating head in the. Oi.
What else we got? Daniel. Hey up, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel, how you doing, man?
Chris, what are your thoughts on the frame of the shots? Frame shots so that humans would look as small as possible, but other directors have not done in sequels. That is interesting, and I don't think he did it in the sequel either, did he? Which is odd, because it is the same director. But I'll say this for Spielberg: some of his films, they are typical Spielberg films. They feel like Spielberg films, and the second one didn't for some reason, and I don't know if there's a reason for that. So I'm not sure about that. But he did the same with E.T., didn't he? Low angles, so it looked like a kid's perspective.
Yeah.
So he's done it around on it. So it's clever. It's clever.
But I do think that I don't know how much of that is down to him and how much is down to his regular cinematographer, because cinematographers they never get the accolades they should do. There's a lot of it is down to somebody who knows what they're doing with a camera, translating what a director wants.
It's the DOP, it's the director of photography. It's
in your opinion, how has this impacted the sequels? I'll tell you what I do think about these films. I think they get a bit too clever with the CGI in a way, and it doesn't always work. You know, like when we were just talking about
translate very well.
The first film there, you're waiting to see the dinosaurs all the way through it, aren't you? For a good, 40 minutes in or something before you even see the brontosaurus. Then when you do, it's a bit of a spectacle in it, really, even though I know we're saying it's dated now, but at the time you were like, oh, wow, that looks amazing. And then you've got the T-Rex sequence and all that. They don't overkill it. You haven't got a T-Rex like... Basically what I'm saying is they put some character work in there, in between. And I think the sequel didn't really have that as much. I don't think the characters were as good as the first one. I don't know.
So did they relied on effects more than storytelling?
Yeah, I think so.
In the later films, definitely. But the whole point of that premise that Jurassic Park exists to sell toys of dinosaurs, that's what the movie companies are doing with the films. Yeah. That's why Jurassic Park 2, like your mates just said, they couldn't get the door. They had to shut the doors to stop people coming in because every kid wanted to see it. Everyone wanted a dinosaur on the lunchbox and on the backpack, and hence the fact that it's famously got a lot of toys that came out that are not in the movies. Right. A lot of stupid shit that's not. It's just another dinosaur toy. It's another one.
And weirdly, as we talked about Sleepy Hollow earlier on, that had a range of action figures where every main character is Sleepy Hollow, and the action figures for that are beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
They're stunning. They're really detailed. Have a Google of it later on. They're so detailed. They're really beautiful figures. I'd love to have some of them.
Martin's mentioned here the plot a bit more of that thing. The girl thought
he was her grandmother.
Thought it was her grandfather, but was actually his daughter's clone. Oh my god, I need to watch it again. That one.
Yeah.
I missed all that.
That's not boding well. But as for dating, how dated the original Jurassic Park is, like, this is what I'm trying to say about Highlander, right? Highlander has dated. This is undeniable. It looks like a film from its time. Jurassic Park, because it's filmed quite well, yes, the odd moment of CGI lets it down. But on the whole, I think it's dated less because of the strength of its director and the cinematography and, the choice of effects and stuff. But essentially, it's the story, isn't it? The story of Jurassic Park is an interesting concept. Excuse me.
It is, and whether it should be done, What does he say? He says, doesn't he, in it? He says, you didn't think whether you should.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And nature always finds a way.
You got so wrapped up, John, in doing it, you didn't stop and ask yourself if you should. That's
the best Samuel L. Jackson impression you've ever done.
Laura Dern. I do her in Castaway as well. You ready? Tom Hanks, you're back from the island.
Yeah, good.
Excellent. Well, gentlemen, it's been...
my show. I'll do what I want.
Next week.
Yeah, definitely. It's been illuminating hearing your thoughts on Jurassic Park and actually reminiscing of lots of the bits that we missed. Thank you, Martin and Big T and Pop Not Broth and Daniel for all your comments and filling in the gaps there. Thank you, Terry, for defending Sean Connery, but also not watching Highlander. Gents, is there anything that you'd like to share before next week? Anything going on? Have you got your radio show, Lummy?
Well, it was on tonight, same time as this. So.
Wow, how are you doing that at the same time?
Well, life will find a way.
What you got on this week, Lummy? You got any gigs that anyone can go to?
Outdoor game started.
We got some gigs. Yeah, we got seven arts in Leeds tomorrow night.
That's the improv show.
That's the improv show. Discount, come and check out. We're back doing them. Friday, we're in Bradford doing it as well.
Whereabouts in Bradford?
The Tapestry. It's called Tapestry Arts. Really nice venue.
Nice.
Then Saturday, we're doing Harrogate at the Empress on the Stray pub upstairs.
Nice.
And then Sunday, I've got my improv courses back as well.
If you want to go see some live improv, if you've fed up of being locked away for the last 16 months and want to go and experience some lulls in real life, sat with some other human beings, then go along to the Discount Comedy checkout. It's a lot of fun, actually. It's a lot of fun.
It's so nice being back in front of people live as well. It's unbelievable.
I'll bet. It is weird, isn't it, doing online shows and not seeing the beauty of this is that obviously we get reactions and stuff, and that our viewers are as much of the part of the show as we are. But actually, you know, when I'm teaching online, for example, it just does not. I love it still, but it doesn't feel the same as when you've got a live sort of studio of students there. It's a huge difference. What about you, Webby? Any pearls of wisdom that you'd like to share with anyone?
Probably should have started with me, mate.
Well, no, you've got Robin's birthday tomorrow. You got Robin's birthday.
Nobody's invited to that.
Yeah, but what's going on? What have you got planned for his birthday? What have you got planned for him?
We're going to do a little bit of stand-up improvisation.
That's the gig tomorrow I'm doing.
Yeah. We booked him this wonderful act called the Discount Comedy Checkout.
Bring him down to 7 Arts. We'll do a spot for him.
Child-friendly improv for him.
Dude, tomorrow, if it gets too much for you, we're only down the road. Come and have a beer.
Yeah, man. Well, you know me, I'll be rat-ass by that time anyway. I'm kidding. Absolute nonsense. And also, apart from that, his actual party that humans are invited to, other humans, is on Saturday, so we're having a little...
Nice! Were you having that in the flat, or are you doing it outside?
Outside, if the weather's nice. We've got this company coming that bought an old fire engine, and they bring it round for the kids, and the kids can play on the fire engine for an hour, use the horns. They get to use I don't know what's going to happen, but allegedly they get to use the hose. I've just got visions of
from the hose pipe. Do you remember? Have you seen UHF? Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah, it's a great film. I love Weird Al.
Drink from the hose pipe.
That would be absolutely hilarious, wouldn't it? Standing someone.
That's where they set up a cable TV channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Spadowski's Funhouse.
Yes.
Good Lord. Yeah.
Well, Webby, from us here at the It's All Geek to Me, give Robin a very, very big birthday hug from us. Very, very happy birthday.
Certainly will,
little buddy.
He knows Robin. He's been on the internet tonight, so he's going to want to watch the clip of his montage.
Nice. That's cool. Well, Robin, very happy birthday to you, little buddy. Hope to see you soon. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and taking part in the show. Thanks for leaving your comments. If you want to give us a like and a subscribe over on that there YouTube, go and do it. It really, really helps because it spreads the word. Algorithms, you see, it means other people get to see the show, and it means that we get to be shared amongst more people. Please go over to our Twitter page at It's All Geek Twit. Go and give us a like and a subscribe all over the place. I've lost track of all our social medias now, but we're in quite a few places. So folks, please go, like, subscribe, share button. That's the other one. We need to share the shit out of this stuff. But for now, from me...
Whoa, next week.
Whoa. Oh, I forgot all about that. Oh, God, we should have done this at the start of the show.
Why? What's happening?
Right, Lummy, are you going to explain?
So, this is right, isn't it? Next week, we've had to change the day again. It's my fault. I held my hands up. It's my problem. I've done this to everybody. We're changing the show. It's not going to be on Tuesdays anymore. It's going to be Monday nights.
Right, but this is the thing. So, Monday nights, 7:30, every single week, and the night is not changing from that point on, which is why we're going to potentially be recording some more pre-recorded shows just on the off chance. But what we don't want to do is keep messing you guys around by changing the night. So from now on, we had a big talk about this. Of the last week, we had a big meeting after the show last Tuesday, and we are going to be with you every Monday night, every single week from 7:30. That is our geek guarantee right there. So
and
we will.
If I can't do any of them, you're going to get some guests on, aren't you?
Oh, we've already got fun Harry Potter. We've got a fun Harry Potter show lined up. We've got loads of things.
Plans. We've got people to ask. We might be doing some sort of competition. See how geeky you are. See if you want to come on as a.
That's the other thing. We are as a current viewer of It's All Geek to Me. You are kind of a little special offer before we put anything out on our social medias. It's All Geek to Me needs you. If you want to be a guest geek, if you have a collection, a geeky collection that you would like to share with the Interverse, then please give us a shout. Go to our social medias, go to our Facebook page probably, send us a DM with a little video telling us what you would like to do on the show. And we would love to have you on, and you get first dibs because you are our original audience, ladies and gents. So please, yes, send a little video over. Let us know what sort of geeky thing you're into, what you'd like to share, if you've got a collection, or even if you'd just like to be our guest host for 1 week. I know we had a really fun chat. That's how we met Pop Not Broth, and that was a really fun experience on Boxing Day. So, ladies and gents, we will see you next week, 7:30, Monday night, new and permanent night. We will see you then. Until then, from Webby, from Lummy, and from me, goodbye. See you later, folks.